If I ever caught you cheating, you'd be holding the bed, holding the head of a man caught up in the middle of a good thing gone bad. I ain't sorry for the harm. I can never envision you betraying me. The one you don't suspect, that's the one it's gonna be. No trust other than my trust in God, cause everyone I ever trusted has broke my heart. I keep my guard up, and it can never be lowered, and you can never sucker punch me. I'm forever looking for it. You go from the bad just to get to the good, something I wish more people understood. I'm hard to love. Some say I'm hard to like, but I've been through a lot of things and I'm scarred for life. I got bruises on my spirit, dents in my chin, and I'm never letting anybody kick me again. I'm hard to love. Some say I'm hard to like, but I've been through a lot of things and I'm scarred for life. I got bruises on my spirit, dents in my chin, and I'm never letting anybody kick me again. You ever see two old people walking in the rain? One of them got the body and the other got the brain. Dang, they probably got grandkids my age. People don't love like that these days. They too quick to say forget it, turn away and leave it, to the point of where their love is nothing but an image, lights and smoke, two-way mirrors, and so the people on the outside don't see errors till you can no longer create the facade. And you done talk to everybody about it, but God, she gon' make mistakes, but so will you. You shouldn't say nothing that you wouldn't want her to say to you. If you was in the spot she's in, love makes exception and takes direction. Baby girl, just hold me down for now. Before you know it, you'll be married to a hole in the ground. I'm hard to love. Some say I'm hard to like, but I've been through a lot of things and I'm scarred for life. I got bruises on my spirit, dents in my chin, and I'm never letting anybody kick me again. I'm hard to love. Some say I'm hard to like, but I've been through a lot of things and I'm scarred for life. I got bruises on my spirit, dents in my chin, and I'm never letting anybody kick me again. I'm hard to love. I'm hard to love.
Hey, good people. Glad you're all here. Hope you're having a sensational Saturday morning or afternoon, even, whatever it is for you today. Don't believe the hype. Any of it. Whether it's the virus or the many other things they try to scare us with. All right, I've got some things I want to share with y'all today, and we will at some point definitely talk about the virus hype. But I wanted to share with you this video on a guy that doesn't believe in the Mandela effect being real, and it's an interesting watch. So let's check it out together.
Street books, Ron. Do you remember the past differently from everyone else? Are you just misremembering what actually happened? Or has reality itself been altered?
Hi, everyone. I'm Matthew Mitrovic, the alternative historian.
The idiot.
What? That's how I've always introduced myself in these videos. Don't believe me? Well, obviously, you're remembering a different history.
In case you haven't figured it out yet, we are talking about the Mandela effect, a term coined in 2010 by Fiona Broome to describe a phenomenon where she remembers Nelson Mandela, the anti-apartheid revolutionary and president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999, who passed away in 2013, actually died while in prison in the 1980s. Fiona described this memory, and I quote, "See, I thought Nelson Mandela died in prison. I thought I remembered it clearly, complete with news clips of the funeral, the mourning in South Africa, some rioting in cities, and a heartfelt speech by his widow. Then I found out he was still alive." Fiona claimed that she met people at DragonCon who shared this memory, which inspired her to launch the website called MandelaEffect.com to document the various examples of this phenomenon. Surprisingly, more people came forward to share other false memories. For example, some reported remembering that the fruit in Fruit Loops was spelled F-R-U-I-T rather than F-R-O-O-T, or that the children's book series, The Berenstain Bears, was actually called The Berenstain Bears. Then there are the many infamous movie misquotes,
Not Stein, idiot. Steen.
which like in Empire Strikes Back, where Darth Vader says to Luke Skywalker, "Luke, I am your father." Except in our timeline, he actually said, "No, I am your father." Another
Bullshit.
popular incident of the Mandela effect is people remembering a 90s movie called Shazam,
Yes, it was real.
starring the comedian Sinbad as a genie. Now, in our timeline, Sinbad did play a genie in a 1994 TV movie about Sinbad the Sailor, but there was no movie called Shazam, well, until recently. We did, however, get a film in the 90s called Kazam.
And Shaq had a dog, a Rottweiler, named Shazam, the exact same spelling as the movie, by the way. Yeah, and you cannot mistake Shaq and stupid Sinbad.
which starred basketball superstar Shaquille O'Neal as a rapping genie.
Evidence that our history has been changed? Or do people really not want to seem racist by confusing two black actors? You decide.
Some more historical examples from a cheat sheet posted by a Kark to the Mandela Effect subreddit include memories of the Lindbergh baby never being found, Alexander Hamilton being elected the fourth president of the United States, Muammar Gaddafi still being alive, and Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin, being African American.
Yes, indeed. That's what I was taught in school, that Eli Whitney was a slave and he had trouble getting patents for his cotton gin. But now the dude's white and all that good stuff. Yeah, bad stuff.
Meanwhile, another popular Mandela Effect moment is people being sure that America actually has more than 50
And the red stripe went under here. I've met and talked to and remember myself the red stripe running underneath here, not the white stripe.
states.
That last bit hits close to home for me. During my time in the Boy Scouts, I heard someone say there are 52 states during multiple flag
I find it hard to believe this dude was a Boy Scout. I'm sorry.
ceremonies. Harmless error, or is something more going on?
So the next question is, what is causing these shared false memories? Well, one of the more popular reasons for these memories is that people are actually remembering things from alternate timelines, although it's not clear whether they're just getting static from these timelines or whether they themselves are sliders from parallel timelines. A related theory even suggests that time travelers or a malfunctioning Large Hadron Collider are responsible for changing history, and these shared false memories are just people remembering a previous version of our history. There are also people who think alien space bats are making the changes. I mean, they don't call them that, but it's pretty much the same thing, except rather than alter the laws of physics or carve up continents like a pizza, these arbitrarily advanced super beings like to change corporate logos for reasons. Some non-multiverse related theories include the idea that our universe is just a hologram, and the false memories people have are being caused by reality glitching like a bad video game. There's also the usual Satan did it, but that's just lame, so we're going to ignore it.
Now, while those are all interesting
That's just lame, so we're going to ignore it. Yeah, that's an idiot.
theories about why the Mandela effect is happening, what does the scientific community think is going on?
To be fair, there are scientists who think the multiverse exists or that the universe is a hologram. So depending on your point of view, the idea that the Mandela effect could be caused by alternate timelines or a malfunctioning reality is not exactly impossible. That said, neither of these theories, as far as I know, has ever been tested, so they aren't enough to make the paranormal reasons behind the Mandela effect plausible. In fact, the only thing most believers of the Mandela effect have for proof that reality has been tampered with is their memories. The problem is that human memory is not a well-organized and easy-to-access library of information, but rather an incomplete jigsaw puzzle, where some of the pieces might be missing or might not even belong to the specific puzzle. In fact, the creation of false memories is called confabulation, and is actually quite common. There are several reasons for this. For example, the human brain just doesn't have the capacity to remember events in exact detail for very long. As time goes by, our ability to recall what happened becomes more and more error-prone. To pull from my own personal experience, law school taught me how unreliable eyewitness testimony really is. An attorney could easily make a witness doubt what they saw by just asking the right questions, or by pointing out any discrepancies in their story now from whenever they first told it. Meanwhile, the human mind is pretty open to suggestions, and with the right method, you can easily implant a false memory into someone's mind, and you don't need a machine to enter people's dreams to do it. Some methods include incorrect news reports, doctored photographs, typographical errors, and just plain old lies. The internet makes this process even worse since it can spread misinformation quickly to large numbers of people. In fact, a clever troll can easily come up with a convincing story about a false memory and back it up with some photoshopped images to convince people, especially those already looking for proof of a paranormal reason for the Mandela effect, that they are telling the truth.
This guy's laying on thick. Oh, and he's got to show the globe, too. Ha, ha, ha.
A good example of human errors creating false memories is the claim by some Mandela effect proponents that the very geography of the planet is wrong. Some claim that New Zealand should be northeast of Australia, Panama should be vertically aligned to North and South America, and the island of Svalbard should not exist at all. Now, these are some of the more far-fetched Mandela effect claims, but they can sort of be forgiven considering how often inaccurate maps are published to the public. As I write this script, the folks at alternhistory.com have a 125-page thread called Return of Horrible Educational Maps that showcases some of the worst real-world maps ever made. Heck, I even did a whole video of an alternate history map that somehow made its way into a textbook. Now imagine these maps are published in books and seen by thousands, if not millions of students. How do they react when they discover what they learned in school was wrong? How did that get there? It's not unusual for us humans to assume that what we know or remember is right without checking if it is correct. But what if we learn that what we know is wrong? It's not fun to be wrong, and while most people take it in stride and come out of it having learned something, for some it's such a terrible experience that it's easy to accept that everyone else is wrong, even if it means believing that something or someone is rewriting reality. But there's one reason why I personally don't buy into the paranormal reasons behind the Mandela effect.
Anybody want to smack this guy or choke him yet? Oh, Lord, he is just laying it on
And that's
thick.
because the Mandela effect just comes off as bad alternate history. Let's go back to the event that gave the Mandela effect its name. Now, the Rational Wiki article on the phenomenon suggests that Broom may be confusing Mandela dying early with the death of Steve Biko, another South African anti-apartheid activist who was beaten to death by South African security forces in 1977. He had a very public funeral that got international attention, and his death caused protests. So on its face, Biko's death may be what Broom and others were confusing with when they thought Mandela had died. Granted, someone supporting a paranormal reason for the Mandela effect could argue that Biko died instead of Mandela was just one of the many changes caused by whatever broke our history. But from an alternate history perspective, it seems odd that there are people who remember an important world leader dying decades earlier, but remember very little else changing except for some alternate logos or some different film quotes. Sure, if you believe that human intervention has little impact on the course of history, and instead more intangible socio-economic forces have had a greater impact, then yeah, the death of one man would not change history significantly. But alternate historians don't always think like that. We understand that sometimes insignificant choices, like taking a wrong turn down a street in Sarajevo in 1914, could have major consequences. Thus, the idea that Mandela died during the 80s, but history...
He must be getting paid really well to lay it on like this, guys. This is ridiculous.
still played out as we know it seems unlikely to me. For example, one of the reasons Mandela was released from prison was to stop a civil war from breaking out in South Africa. Afterwards, Mandela was able to negotiate an end to apartheid. Now, maybe in a world where Mandela died early, someone else could have accomplished this, like Biko, or maybe South Africa would descend into years of racial violence. It's hard to speculate without more research, but I would think someone who can remember an important person like Mandela dying could remember more changes to world history besides Shaq deciding not to try out acting. But let's assume there are refugees from other histories in our midst. How do we even tell they actually exist? Seriously, who keeps doing that? Recently, I read Famous Men Who Never Lived by Kate Chess. It's an extremely good book, and I highly recommend you check it out. But I'm bringing it up because the book is about people from an alternate reality who have to flee their timeline for ours in order to escape a nuclear war. Even though the point of divergence between the two timelines is only in the early 20th century, both timelines diverge drastically. Not only is the geopolitical situation different, but fashion, music, architecture, slang, and social mores are different as well. Personally, I think Famous Men Who Never Lived does a much better job of highlighting what a real refugee from another history would be like. They would be a product of a society shaped by a vastly different history, and would show not just in their memories, but how they interact with people in general. Unfortunately, we just don't see that with most people who believe these false memories were created by alternate timelines bleeding into our world, or some other reason. They only share a couple odd memories that don't change who they fundamentally are as a person in this timeline. In conclusion, I'm an alternate historian. I love the idea of alternate timelines and the possibility of interacting with them someday. I just don't think the Mandela effect as we know it proves they exist. Rather than parallel timelines, negligent time travelers, or bored alien space bats, The reason for these memories of histories that never happened is because the human brain is just a big pile of goo that doesn't always work right.
Bullshit.
At its best, the Mandela effect is just a fun internet diversion as we see just how messed up our memories really are. Well, that is all I have to say on the subject. If you like what I do,
I'm glad that's all you got to say.
comment, subscribe, share this video, support me on Patreon. I'm Matt Mitrovich, the alternate historian. Bye.
Wow. What a chump. Hey, what do you say? What's happening, bro?
Yo,
Hey, what'd you think of that?
yeah, I want to punch him, man.
Yeah, he is
No,
something else.
He looks too childish to punch. I want to educate this motherfucker,
Woo, boy.
right?
Oh, man. I was so glad that ended because I really wanted to reach out and...
Jesus.
Woo! Oh goodness, man. So yeah, he had a bunch of theories, boy. He just laid it on thick every which way he could, you know. It's just amazing. So how you been? How you feeling today?
Yeah, okay,
Good,
not
good.
too bad.
All right.
Seem to do well on extra vitamin C. That kind of helps my stomach.
Okay, good.
That's helping.
Awesome, brother. All right, we all send good vibes your way and prayers, definitely. And we got 10 people in here. It's not bad for early Saturday morning or whatever for everybody it is. But so yeah, let's see here. I wanted to share something sort of on the same lines, but this is not somebody just talking, you know, crap about the Mandela effect. But I've got some videos that are on alternate realities and parallel universes and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to push that on anybody, but you know, I just go down all the rabbit holes, I look at all the theories that are out there for the Mandela effect and and changes and stuff. So let's watch that real quick, one of them, and then we can talk about that and go from there. How about that? You all right with that?
I'm all right with that. I just like to add like to have another universe, or how do you call it?
Reality or a parallel universe? What?
Yeah, parallel universes or multiple universe. That's actually an oxymoron, because universe means just one song, you know, one song actually.
Right.
So,
You're right. It is. Yeah. So how would you word it if you had to then without saying it like that?
Well, I think this reality is as real as can be, right? Although, albeit like an illusion, it's still a reality that we have been taught we got to deal with. And I don't believe so much in multiple universes or in quantum universes. No.
Yeah.
It's it seems a
Other
bit
dimensions bleeding over or something. Then it's or what?
Sorry, what's that?
Other dimensions. Then I mean we do have other dimensions. Is it something?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with other dimensions, but
Yeah.
on this earth.
And that's what I lean to too. So I mean, you know, I'm just showing this stuff because that's what they're showing, you know. But I think that most of us can see through it all, and you know, we know what time it is. But you know, yeah, it's just it is just fascinating, you know, what people come up with, though, the theories that they do, and
Right.
And so is that an agenda that you think they're trying to push to keep us from thinking something spiritual, dimensional?
Yeah, might very well be. I mean, they try. I mean, you hear the weirdest things that pass for truths. I mean, if you see what ridiculous things this man Hubbard, what's his name?
Ron L. Hubbard or
Yeah, Ron L. Hubbard. Yeah.
Scientology and all that.
Yeah, all the things that he produced, such utter nonsense and crap. and nothing is. It's not provable. It's not even. There's nothing.
Yeah,
There's
but look
nothing.
how many people buy into it, though.
People buy into it. People believe it. People might think it's
and they
bullshit,
stay
but
in it. They stay in it and be a victim for years. It's unreal. Yeah, I know.
I mean, so you can do anything. The bigger the lie, the bigger the lie, the more acceptable it sounds. I mean, yeah. I've been around liars all my life.
Yeah,
and they come with the most fantastic stories that that you don't even dare doubt, because you're so flabbergasted by the exceptional thing that he's been through and how he got so rich, or what he and later on you start to think, well, that actually cannot be true, man. It doesn't happen like that. I mean, weird things happen, but they don't happen in that way. It doesn't happen like that. It's too impossible to be real. And that's how people lie, right? They stun you with, like, oh, this happened and that happened and then that happened and one unbelievable thing after another, and you get,
I caught a 10-foot fish.
right, yeah. And the water was stormy, and we almost couldn't get home, but I measured it was this long, and just before we reached the shore, it jumped out of the boat and it freed again. So tomorrow I'm gonna back to catch it again, right?
Woo, yeah. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. Well, then definitely we will hammer that home to people, after we play this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate your info on that, brother, because we don't want to be deceived in any way, and it is so big now. There's so many people pushing the alternate, realities, universes, and so it's big. It's getting big.
Aliens and things, and show them to me. Just stop talking about it if you're so sure, and if you're channeling. Or people who are channeling, I believe they are channeling. I believe they step out of themselves and something else takes over. But that's not a good thing. I've also looked into this, and I've also encountered like very special moments. But it just doesn't add up. Just doesn't add up.
All right, this one is top 10 scary signs that prove parallel universes exist. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah, cool.
All right, bear with me. Is there a commercial? Let's see, probably a commercial.
If you shop on Amazon, you should use
No. Oh, I can skip it. There we go.
What if I told you that our universe wasn't the only one that existed? It's possible that our world could be surrounded by a ton of parallel universes that are naked to the human eye. If this is true, these alternate universes would mirror our universe. So whatever happens in one world could also occur in the alternate universe, but in an opposite manner. Well, I'm going to YouTube, I'm Rosalys with Lane to Do Nothing, and I am back with another Most Bitching Top 10 video. If you guys haven't already gotten your Business for Life Right Now t-shirt, make sure you guys click the link down below, use promo code MA10, and you'll get an additional $5 off. And also, I just trimmed my beard, and apparently I'm like 10 years younger right now. I feel 10 pounds lighter. I don't know what I'm doing with this. So today we're going to be looking at the possible existence of parallel universes. So let's jump right into it. This is the top 10 scary signs that prove parallel universes exist. Number 10, ripples in space. It's no secret that finding definitive proof that parallel universes exist have been extremely difficult. But scientists have been studying gravitational waves or ripples in space that were caused by the motion of massive objects. Now they're theorizing that these ripples might be able to prove that parallel universes do exist. Gravity is thought to be relatively consistent throughout all dimensions and universes. So researchers think that they can use gravitational waves to detect where parallel universes are. Basically, they're assuming that when they come across a ripple in space, it's caused by one universe colliding into another massive universe. Deja vu. Deja vu. Did Did I see? Deja vu comes in at number 9. Another interesting theory that supports the existence of parallel universes is the deja vu phenomenon. If you've ever had a deja vu experience, I know I've had many of them, then you know exactly what I am talking about. It feels like you've already witnessed or lived through, the current situation, the current moment. It's also one of the weirdest feelings in the world, and it happens to all of us. But although it's very common, there's actually very little information known about deja vu. Most of us have experienced that feeling like you've been in a new place before, but we have a difficult time understanding how this is even possible. So maybe this feeling could prove that parallel universes exist, or it's just a glitch in our brain's memory, like a glitch in the Matrix or something. Either way, I think it'd be amazing if parallel universes, if they did exist, and deja vu occurs because in a parallel universe, a version of yourselves has already lived that scenario. Infinite universes brings us to number 8. Scientists still don't fully understand time and space. One prominent theory is that space and time is flat, and it goes on forever and ever and ever. So there's a high chance that there are many universes out there. But with that in mind, it's possible that universes could start to repeat themselves because there are only so many, different ways that particles could be put together. So the number of possible particle configurations in multiple universes would be limited to a set number of possibilities before they start to repeat, which basically means that there could be a ton of parallel universes out there with someone who looks exactly like you. Maybe there's another brown guy who looks like me, but with a mustache, and one that can grow an actual beard. Our dreams are in at number 7. Some people believe that in a parallel universe, there is a copy of themselves that is capable of making a different decisions and seeing places that will later manifest in their dreams. It's no secret that for countless years, people have always wondered what dreams mean. Some people are able to see the future in their dreams, while others think that their dreams have hidden meaning. But what if we took a step further and said that dreams are glimpses of events that are taking place in an alternate reality? Sometimes people will have reoccurring dreams, about a place that they've never ever seen or heard of. So yeah, maybe it's possible that our dreams are showing us what's exactly going on in a parallel universe and how a copy of ourselves is living in another world, another universe. Clyde?
What do you think about that?
Well, so we have other versions of ourselves that already experienced something. No need explaining that. Other versions of myself. So yeah, other versions of myself. Thinking of other versions of myself makes me schizophrenic, I think. But okay.
Yeah, are they trying to make us mental? I mean, that definitely sounds like a mental problem to be thinking I've got multiple, copies of me.
It seems to be logical to him. It needs no explaining. So
yeah.
That's okay with me.
I mean, this is the world we're living in now. People are just, they'll believe anything.
They're just babbling. They're just babbling. Babbling. And don't you try to make sense, because I'll babble the hell out of you. I'll babble you.
Oh, gosh, man.
It's true.
I can't believe I keep finding these people, that just, they're getting paid well. That's all I can think about. It's all about the money, man.
No, it's all about this babbling. They're
experts at it. They went to school for it, and they're getting paid to do it.
But I had this lady call me up that I met like a year ago, and every once in a while we call each other like, "How you doing?" and she also said, you need to get out more because, you need to see people. You're a human being. And I said, yeah, I know. But, there's nobody out there that I want to visit. It's really, that's not the case anymore.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then she said, yeah, but I'm still going. I said, yeah. And so tell me. And then she told another shit story of how somebody stole something of her and lied to her about it. And, so I said, oh, so it's nice you get out, right? It's really nice to meet all these people who treat you right and don't lie. And, and then she said, yeah, well, but it's not my fault. I said, yeah, I know. It's their fault. That's why That's why I don't interact with people anymore, because it's gonna end up in some sort of shit story. So I just refrain.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I lose friends left and right, or so-called friends, just because people are just getting weird, man. I mean, maybe I am too, but I don't know. It's just, like I said, I mean, things are going to expand and get stranger and stranger and wackier, and it already has since. Just think about since we learned Bernstein and a few others, I mean, look how many there are now, and I think there's just as many unreported or unfound MEs as there is ones that have we know about too. There's plenty.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. All right, well we'll go. Let's see what.
What do you think? What do you think? Is it more? It's mostly America that's being hit with Mandela.
No, I don't think so. I think we're just paying more attention, brother, because I've seen in one country that somebody was saying their alphabet has even changed, and
I've heard this. Yeah, I've heard this. Yeah.
So I mean, I just think we're paying more attention, maybe because there is more conspiracy theorist type people, like or whatever they call us in America. But I definitely I mean there might be a little bit to that, but I definitely think it's a worldwide phenomenon. It's definitely something that's
it is
yeah,
it's definitely worldwide, but mostly America.
Yeah,
I think.
But like I said, I just think that there's just more of us highlighting America's changes than there are in your country, other countries, or whatever. See. I'm telling you, when it expands more and there's more people, around the world, looking for the changes, then you'll see a bunch everywhere else too.
I've heard of a Mandela effect in the Quran, that Jesus is now mentioned like 15 times, and it didn't used to be like that. How about that? I didn't research it, but I heard somebody say like, well, now Jesus is mentioned 15 times in the Quran, and that was never there. Mm-hmm. So I don't read the Quran.
Oh yeah, I've heard many other things about the Quran's changing, definitely too. Even in the last couple of days, there's been other books. There's many other books now besides the Bible and Bernstein books. Bear's books that have changed. So. There's it's big, man. It's huge. The changes are everywhere and in everything, so we're just, I mean, any one of us could get out there and look and find something amazing, today or tomorrow or whatever, the ME changes are out there just waiting to be discovered, in all these other countries and in, more here too. I definitely think it's expanding daily. Yep. So it'll be a household name by the end of this year. Mandela Effect will. And then we'll see. We'll just have to see how they continue to paint us. If they continue to paint us as crazy and dangerous, violent, then it's going to be interesting. And it fits. It's perfect because then they've got us trying to defend ourselves instead of helping people. And whatever. That we'll just be constantly.
That's also why it's so important to address the psychological side of this, because this is the pattern that we fight against. We only have people lying about us, false accusations, and mostly these false accusations are actually the actual crimes of our accusers. Mm-hmm. The crimes that they do, they say that we do. They accuse us of doing those crimes, and that's just a psychological pattern. That's like narcissistic. That's narcissistic, and it's narcissism all over all the time in this society. It's so ubiquitous and so prevalent.
I wouldn't doubt if the Minority Report to the Max is already happening in China, and we just haven't seen the full scope of it yet. But I do believe we'll see it there first, where they'll just start arresting people based on what they think they're going to do or whatever, whatever the AI tells them. The AI is going to say, "Oh, well, Voynich looks like he's going to go, get an axe and start hacking people up next week. Let's get him, let's take him in now." I'm serious. That's what that's what they didn't know enough of in that movie, is that it's AI that's going to be, the one, putting this crap together, that we're dangerous and stuff. Watch. Yep.
Yeah, well,
it's coming.
I'm fighting that process, that what you just said, I mean, it actually happened, that's also why you said it. And I'm fighting it. I'm fighting it. And I'm just fighting it with reason. I'm not smashing anybody. I'm just protesting that I get smashed. I get smashed without any reason, by everybody and anything and anyone. So
right. Yep. All right. Well, let's go back and see what else they got for us here. Hang on. We still in screen share? I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
It's working.
Up this list or down this list, depends on how you perceive it. And at number 6, we have the green-skinned children. Let's travel back to the 12th century, which is that's so long ago. Well, let's travel back when a brother and a sister randomly appeared in a small village in England. Both of them had green-colored skin, spoke an unknown language, they wore strange clothes, and refused to eat any food that was offered to them. They were taken in and cared for by the village, and eventually the children started to eat their food and their skin became less green. But shortly after, the boy became very sick and he died. His sister was able to learn English over time, and she told the others that they were from a place where the sun doesn't shine bright, and it was always nighttime. She said that her and her brother were at their home when all of a sudden they heard a loud noise, and then they were just suddenly in a new place that they didn't recognize. The girl grew up and lived her life on Earth, but as it turns out, she might have been living in an entirely different universe before. Black holes could be portals to parallel universes, and this takes us to number 5. It's a common belief that anything that falls into a black hole will be destroyed and lost forever. But Stephen Hawking, he had a different theory. He has always had a different opinion. He believed in the existence of parallel universes, and he thought that they should never be ruled out. Hawking suggests that black holes must eventually come to an end, and according to his calculations, the black holes will begin to leak matter into space and eventually explode, which would release the trapped particles. So it's quite possible that if something fell through a black hole, it wouldn't be destroyed. It could actually end up in an alternate universe. And now at number 4, let's talk about the Mandela effect. I find this so interesting. Well, let me know in the comment section below if you've ever experienced something like this, a Mandela effect, where you're convinced that something exists a certain way, but you kind of discovered that you remembered it all wrong. Well, let me share with you guys, a few examples. Looney Tunes was never spelled with 2 O's. It's actually spelled Tunes, T-U-N-E-S. Yeah, that was a hard one for me to get over. I still don't believe it. I think we're getting trolled. And of course, Curious George has a tail, right? No, you would be so wrong. His tail never existed, although we all remember him having a tail. Maybe it was the alternate reality Curious George. Oh, and yeah, you guys remember the Monopoly Man and his monocle, right? Well, you've been hit with the Mandela effect again because he never had a monocle. I know how you're feeling. I'm questioning my entire life as well. Well, as it turns out, the Mandela effect might be evidence that supports the existence of a parallel universe, because how else would you explain it? It's been suggested that people go back and forth between multiple universes, so that's how we can create strange memories of something that we've never heard or seen before. These memories are actually from another universe that spilled into our current one. The cold spot theory takes us over to number 3. Scientists have been able to map out the radiation across the universe. For the most part, it is equally distributed and it's the same temperature, but there is one cold spot that stands out. Apparently, this cold spot could exist because of a collision between our universe and another universe. So the energy released during this collision would have created a cold spot. This could be proof that we existed in a multi-universe, and there are billions of other universes out there that could be like ours. Stephen Hawking takes us to number 2 on our list. Before his death, Stephen Hawking was seriously contemplating the thought that other universes exist. These alternate universes could be found alongside ours with their own galaxies, stars, and planets. He wrote a paper before his death with another scientist named Thomas Hertog. They believe that if future technology is able to pick up evidence of powerful gravitational waves from the Big Bang, well, then we might be able to prove the alternate universes exist. This would mean that the possibility of parallel universes might soon become a reality, and if that's the case, Stephen Hawking has surely changed the way that we view our universe forever. Now, at number 1, we have a man who came directly from a parallel universe. Have you guys ever heard of the guy who arrived at the Tokyo International Airport with a passport from a country that doesn't exist? Well, this story was all over the news. I remember reading about it. Well, apparently this man told customs that he was in Japan for business and he had a legitimate visa stamps, currency from European countries, and checks from an unknown bank. Oh, and he also has a driver's license from a country called Tor. Well, that country doesn't exist. He was sent to a hotel while they investigated him, but he was always closely monitored and watched. But in the morning, he had completely vanished. His room is 15 stories up. He vanished. His room is
Yeah.
Well, that country doesn't exist. He was sent to a hotel.
September 11th, 1988. You see that, folks?
Yeah.
And look at this right here. That's my birthday, July 16th.
Cool.
Wow, maybe I'm him. No, just kidding. Funny.
While they investigated him, but he was always closely monitored and watched. But in the morning, he had completely vanished. His room is 15 stories up, and security guards were watching his door at all times. Police tried to search for the man from Tard, but they never saw or heard from him again. He probably went back to his own parallel universe after he was caught, and you know what, maybe one day he'll be brave enough to make the journey again. Really crazy story. Well, there you guys have it. I just want to say thank you guys so much.
Yeah. So wow.
So well, first of all, I'd like to comment to the story about these 2 green girls.
Yes, please do. That was weird.
First of all, when they came from another dimension or from another world, how the hell could they speak with these children? I mean, you know.
What did it say? I don't even remember. I mean, did it say they grew up in like, you know?
Yes, you know. I mean, how did they communicate? I mean, you're gonna need some time to understand another language. I mean, that takes you a few months, right?
Yeah, that's the first I've ever heard of that story.
Especially if you're not specialized in it. I mean, either they had to learn this language or we had to learn their language. I mean,
wouldn't they be all over the news? Because, you know, think about it, there would be video and pictures of these kids too, you know, all over. The story would be huge. The only 2 green people on the earth or whatever. Yeah. Craziness, man. Crazy. Yeah, like I said, they're getting paid well to put out this stuff, I'm pretty sure. You know.
Oh, but you can see by the way these videos are made that they all come out of the same factory, right?
Yeah.
It's all just
right. Oh, it's 420 somewhere.
the tone of voice and the way the videos are cut and the interjections and everything, you know.
Right now, 420 somewhere.
Well, just in time.
Yeah, me too. Look, I had one packed. Yeah. Time to medicate, folks. I used to take 24 pills a day at least. And now I just hit this once or twice an hour and I'm good. Imagine that. Can you imagine that?
I can imagine that.
Thank you. It's too early for jumping jacks. Mamma mia. Oh, okay, sorry about that, y'all. I had to mute the cough. Literally 420 there, Michael says. Woo! Do you smoke, Michael? Oh, dear. Stacy says, but it's $128 a quarter there. What? Do you see that?
What?
Stacy B says it's $128 a quarter there. Holy crap.
I don't know how much a quarter is. I go
quarter
by grams.
A quarter ounce, 7 grams.
Grams for $128.
Oh, that's a lot. That's double what it cost here. Literally double, Stacy. That's double.
I just bought 5 grams for 40 euro.
But that's legally buying, you said? Well, even here, legally buying, it's cheaper than way cheap. Way cheap. It's like still like half. I'm not kidding you. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel for you, Stacy. That's insane. But I've heard that Michigan, their system is corrupt as far as well, they all are, but some legal, and medical marijuana programs are better than others, I guess. But it's all. Canada's got the worst. Canada legalized it, but then they're regulating it so much it's ridiculous. I mean, and they're running mom and pop shops out, so it's just big corporations that are getting rich off the weed. Yeah. I was going to move to Colorado years ago because I wanted to get in part of the medical weed side of it, and and my friends kept telling me, oh, don't worry, Florida's gonna get it right next year, don't worry, they're gonna get it all, and it took forever for them to get it here. It just started last year. And it's not right, yet. You have to get qualified twice a year. So like you go through, see the doctor, and you're doing good for 6 months, and then you got to pay everything all over again, go through the same process to requalify, and it's still all about the money here too, but at least the prices are cheaper. Yeah, see, it's the sales tax, like she said, 36% sales tax on recreation. Yeah, that's crazy.
This stuff could be so cheap.
I would imagine though, Stacy, your medical is a lot cheaper than your recreational.
I mean, if you just grow this stuff like professionally and without any doctors or without too much shit, you could buy it for €1 a gram, easily.
Nope, nobody has been disqualified or hasn't qualified here in Florida. So that surprises me. Now that might just be the doctors trying to make money and just letting anybody and everybody. But it seems like the state's going along with it too, as long as you're willing to register. If you got elbow, pain or something, whatever, something, silly little, you're still going to get it.
Yeah.
Where, some states are really strict on that and only let people, I think Florida's considered being in the Bible Belt. I'm kind of surprised that, we even did get it as quick as we did, I guess, because there's a lot of old people down here too. But at least elderly people are finally jumping on the bandwagon, and they're tired of taking 20, 40, 30, 50 pills a day too, man. I mean, and then you got to deal with each side effect from each medicine, and they just build up. That was the thing with me, is I can handle my MS, with just the THC and CBD, occasionally kratom or something. But when I was on all those pills, they came with so many other symptom side effects and stuff that, it was just a nightmare.
Total idiocy. It's total idiocy that people go for this, that people go along with these things. I really don't get it. I mean, when you're in pain and you take something against the pain, I get it, right? But not when the pain medicine destroys your stomach. You're not going to solve it with another medicine that destroys another part of your psyche, and then you need another medicine to destroy it never ends.
I know it's insane.
It's like they're gonna say you have coronavirus, now you're gonna need a corona vaccine. And that's gonna get you ill. Like they said in the 80s, you have AIDS now you need AZT, and what kills AZT kills you. Nothing they've tried since AIDS has worked this well. So I am a little concerned that their fake hype crap might work this time, or work as good as AIDS did, but yeah, it's all bull crap, man. I'm telling you, and I don't think that anybody should buy into their hype and start searching for mask and all that stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. When the swine flu came out, when the swine flu came out, I went and ordered a big case of the mask, and I never needed them. And it's like I get the feeling it's just like that over again. It's all hype and made up bull crap just to get sell vaccines and masks and to poison people that they can poison their minds, that make them scared all the time of the next virus. It's a never-ending cycle with these folks, man. History repeats itself. That's a clear picture too. What happened before World War One?
Mm-hmm.
There was also this pest, right? This flu, this Spanish flu, right? Was just before World War One.
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing how many countries they could get on board with all this propaganda hype stuff, though. Think about it. And I know it's the UN and who, and man, these people they do not have our best interests in mind. I mean, they make it like they're trying to save the world, but they're not.
That's always
crap.
I mean, there was this English saying, like this American saying that goes like, the way to hell is paved with good intentions. Mm-hmm. And I always thought it was an ugly saying. I never got it, but it always stuck with me, And all of a sudden I got it. Like, what the fuck? Indeed. That's how I sell it to you. I mean, did you think that Hitler had bad intentions? No. Do you think that Stalin had bad intentions? No. No, but just look at the result. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just look at. Do you think that Pol Pot had bad intentions? Do you think that the United Nations has bad intentions? Do you think that Bill Gates has bad intention?
Yeah.
No, they all have the best of intentions for all of you. But just look at the result. Yeah, William? Just look at the result. Yeah. That's how they sell it. Best intentions. It's the oldest trick in the book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are here to take care of you. Well, you know how that sounds. We're gonna take care of you.
Good to see you, Valiant One. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Zillion Rocha, Michael Healy, and Gainar. Whoop, whoop, what did I do? Okay, come back. Yep. Good people. It's beautiful here today. It's supposed to get up to near 70. And I don't see any chemtrails in the sky yet. That doesn't mean they won't start this afternoon. As long as they get the sky filled up by sunset, where they can hide, our view of what's going on at that time, then they're happy.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back to making more chemtrail videos. That's where I got my start. Basically on here after I stopped uploading music and stuff. Music, concerts and stuff. I have been speaking out about chemtrails for 20 years now, at least. I've been seeing them that long for sure, and knowing it wasn't right. So what do you think about have you seen old movies, like real old movies, and there's chemtrails in them now and they weren't there before when you first watched the movie? Have you seen that happen?
No.
Because I see it a lot, but I pay attention to that stuff. I analyze movies for Illuminati, stuff to whatever I can find that
No, not such.
Because it's blown my mind a few times how much and like even the sunsets, the sunsets are pink, purple and pink,
Purple,
yeah. Well, we didn't see that when I was growing up. Did you see pink and purple sunsets when you were growing up on the regular?
Maybe once or twice, but hardly ever.
Yeah, but I mean,
these days,
the last few
days it's
years,
gone.
it's been like almost every night kind of thing, year round almost, and it's like, whoa, that can't be normal. And then you got people that say it's the lithium. Do you think it's from lithium spraying?
I also tell people, like, look at the floor, look at the stones at the trottoir, at the sidewalk. Look at the sidewalk that you're walking on. It's green. It didn't used to be green.
Right.
Because first there's going to be algae, and then there's going to be moss, and it's within 2 years, and it's all become green now. It's really weird.
Yeah, people's roofs have are getting stuff on them quicker that build up on them.
That's
I used to do
because there's
pressure washing. I used to pressure wash buildings and roofs a lot. So, it's definitely building up quicker. And then you got that spider web crap too. That.
Yeah, I've seen those videos too. That's weird, man. That's and that's snow that will not melt. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
Man. Yeah, the day I find some snow that won't melt with a lighter on it, I'm going to be going, what in the hell? And I've seen plenty of videos, incredible people. So I believe that it is. I believe that it is happening. It could just be that they added some. They made that snow concoction and added it. In
really no idea.
I don't know. It's insane. Now I know that they have artificial snow at ski resorts and stuff, and I'm sure that probably doesn't melt right neither. But I don't know. But
it's not artificial snow. They just make it rain when it freezes.
Okay.
They put on sprinklers when it freezes.
Okay. I thought they in some cases at least were putting.
They just sprinkle the air with snow. It's real snow, but it's artificially made.
They're misting, putting a mist up or something, and hoping for the best.
No, because it freezes. So that's how they make that snow on the mountain.
Cool.
So,
do you remember when Cheez-It was Cheez-Its?
no, I don't.
Oh, okay. What about y'all in the chat? See, I've got a box of Cheez-It here, but I definitely remember it having an S or a Z. Cheez-Its. Not Cheez-It. Yeah, I don't know.
I do remember Skechers
Yeah.
and not Skechers.
Yeah. I think my sister does too, because she used to wear a lot of Skechers. My sister has more shoes than anybody. It's unreal. Like I've seen some women have some shoes, a lot, but man, I mean, it's insane, her collection of different shoes, tennis shoes, and she don't have too many like high heels or stuff like that. She's not. She
You
doesn't.
got shoes Imelda Marcos. You know,
I had a girlfriend. Matter of fact, the same girlfriend I've talked about. Her dad worked for the government and had top secret clearance, and he's the one that told me and her brother about all the New World Order, One World Order plans. You know, when I was 18 years old. Well, anyway, her dad and her mom were splitting up, so he started to build a house for himself, and me and my friends, her brother helped him build that house. We built it by hand, even hand set the trusses, you know, and without a crane. And anyway, so when we got done building the house, her parents got back together, so they let me and her and her brother move in this brand new house, you know. And this is in Orlando area, and it was a nice area and everything. So I felt bad that, you know, here I was getting to move into a brand new house for nothing, you know. So I bought all the furniture in there. I bought her a big king size bed that was raised up off the ground real high, and 100 disc CD changer system, which was a lot of money back then. All the furniture and stuff like that, you know. Anyway, long story short, she ended up trying to kill herself after her mom died. She got in the car that I bought her and headed down the street, and she was headed right for an overpass that goes over the interstate. And she got up to the top of that, and there was a line of cars at a light. Why they would have a light right on the other side of a hump of a bridge, you know, or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, so she didn't want to hit these cars, so she just hit the median thing, you know, the cement thing, and then it launched her. So she kind of went up in the air and then hit the cement wall that keeps you from going over and on, you know, and flying down onto the interstate. And man, she was so messed up, broken nose, broken arms and feet, and I had to do everything for her. I mean, wipe her butt, wash her food, you know, cook for her and feed her for months and months. And she was just so ungrateful and so changed after all that, you know, that I literally just packed up a bag and walked down the street, left everything I owned, cars, you know, and just was, and you know, I went and lived in a tent for almost a month, and I would walk to work, and but I got away from her. And it was just crazy though. But there was so much death, you know, and misery in that family, and I wondered if he was targeted for telling us what he knew, you know, because we immediately started the down with the New World Order agenda of our own at that point. When he told us all that stuff, you know, we're just teenagers and our minds were blown that, you know, that for one, that he was telling us this stuff and that they had these evil plans, you know,
more found out that it's true, right?
Hmm?
You find out that it's true.
Oh yeah, I went down. That caused me to start going down every rabbit hole there was, and I would listen to Coast to Coast AM every night. I would get stuff from the John Birch Society, and then I latched on to what Infowars, but Alex Jones and the Prison Planet back then. Alex Jones got started out on MySpace, you know. And that's where he got a lot of his followers, was on MySpace. But I eventually, you know, saw through Alex Jones, and getting to that was I shared information several times with Alex Jones. We had lengthy phone conversations about what I knew about the swine flu, or what I had discovered about the swine flu, and or about their plans to deal with the slime flu. and so right after that, I felt targeted for a couple of years. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that happened to me, that are similar to what happens to targeted individuals. So, I started to see through him, and we see today that he's just, paid opposition or whatever. He's just a gatekeeper and all that stuff, Now, I'm not saying that Alex Jones didn't never start out caring and or whatever and trying to expose evil, but, he must have sold out at some point, where they say everybody's got a price, and, even his wife left him and stuff, there's a lot to that, but I don't want to continue on that. But, I will still give Alex Jones a little bit of credit for all the people that he did bring to the truthers, the truther society or whatever community. And the fact that he did go to the other side does help us, because we know it's possible now that, definitely we know we can't trust everybody.
It's not like if we didn't have Alex Jones that we wouldn't have found the truth. I mean, he was pushed on our road,
Right.
Pushed on our way. He was if you compare our travelings towards truth with a road, he would be like McDonald's and the Burger King along the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Look at me, I'm right here. Hey, yeah.
You could not run into him. So I think that's closer to the truth. I mean, he was set there,
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, and Joe Rogan, and probably that other dude that does the man on the street stuff too, Mark something, or I don't know, whatever. Yeah,
the one that's in Europe.
No, this one's in California that I was thinking, but I can't think of his name. But yeah, there's probably one there too, Yeah, but the fast forward from when I was 18 to now I'm going on 46. They have definitely their arms are long, and and into everything, the New World Order, the One World Order folks, and so. It's I can't help but to fully believe that they're gonna try to bring about the beast system, and it's been about the beast system all along. It's all the same, and they're gonna implement it as quick as they can, and they're just gonna try to roll over anybody that stands in their way. Just like they did in China, Tank Man, they're not scared to just, plow over us. But in the end, the truth will prevail, and these people are going to hell.
Yeah, I believe so. I hope not. So.
Oh man. Woo! So, do you want to see the other one on the parallel universes or alternate realities?
Why not?
All right. Well, alternate realities or parallel universe?
Alternate realities.
All right, here we go. Top 10 scariest pieces of evidence that alternate realities exist. Part 2. Are we still screen share or not? No, I don't think we are.
Please.
Are we screen sharing? No. No. Okay, we're not. Hold on. Got to get the screen share right.
Share.
All right, now we are. Yes. Here we go. Let's get rid of Bernie Sanders here.
Please add your name.
What's up, people? Hope you're having an awesome day wherever and whenever you're watching this. I'm your host, Eamon Hassan, and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. So, based on part 1 of this video, we all seem to really want to believe in alternate realities existing, or at least enjoy learning about the possibility. Honestly,
or laughing at it.
I wonder what the other versions of me and other realities are doing right now. Are they hosting the alternate version of Top 10? Are they doing a better job
Here we go.
than me? I'll probably never know, and thankfully neither will you guys. But anyway, this is the top 10 scary pieces of evidence that alternate realities exist, part 2. And damn, we really have to make these titles shorter. Starting us off, number 10 are dreams. I'm pretty sure everyone in life has wondered what their dreams meant. Anytime I dream of anything traumatic, I always Google it and I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to start a new chapter of my life, or one's about to end, what do I do? Either way, dream travel is a theory that our dreams show glimpses of alternate universes or realities that are beyond ours. In a multiverse where there are endless versions of you and your life, and they've all branched off and have lived different lives, if you're having a really vivid dream to the point it's so lifelike you feel like you're really there, it's possible we're tapping into the experiences and memories of an alternate us. Say if you keep dreaming about living in a different country or having a different job or eating something so detailed you can smell it and taste it, it's been theorized it's because you've probably already experienced those things in another timeline, and our sleeping mind somehow lets us access it. Physicists have theorized since our conscious mind's barriers are down during sleep, it allows our subconscious mind to go into the windows between realities and contact the consciousness of our other selves. This suggests that maybe our subconscious mind operates in our own reality and the others all at the same time. Another theory is that despite only seeing one course of events for each action or decision we make, we still imagine what would have happened if we did or chose differently. So based on that, our dreams could be showing us how all those other decisions would have played out if our other selves made them. That was a lot to digest, I know, and there's a lot more to come. Coming in at number 9 is missing time. So I feel like a lot of people will be able to identify with this feeling or experience and yet not know it could very well be evidence of an alternate reality. So this is a story of John Carlson. In the late 70s, John was in high school and his house was about a 1.5 mile walk from his school. He walked there and back every day, and it was a pretty straightforward route that he knew very well. One day he was walking home when he saw a bunch of guys that usually bullied him, and he took a different route. Again, even this other route he knew very, very well. He'd also taken it before, so it wasn't anything new. But on the walk, things just seemed off. Despite school just ending, it was eerily quiet, and he felt like things just weren't real. As he was approaching an intersection, he saw the stores he usually saw there, but the silence persisted. He realized that even though he was walking towards the intersection, the stores and landmarks kept getting further and further away from him. Like a mirage, he didn't understand and started feeling anxious and disoriented, and then blank. A complete loss of memory, and when he awakened, he was on a different street in a different part of town, quite a while away from the intersection he was at before. And he had no idea how he got there, but within a few minutes, his mum pulled up and asked him if he was all right. Normally, his parents never looked for him as long as he came home before dinner, but his mum somehow just knew exactly where he was. When he asked her why she went to look for him, she said she was just doing chores at home when a voice in her head said, "Get John, he needs you." And a lot of people have had the same missing piece of time experience, so they've theorized that perhaps these blips are us crossing into another universe and taking your alternate selves' place and vice versa. So when you swap back, you end up somewhere else and not knowing how you got there. At number 8, we have the Large Hadron Collider, LHC. CERN, which is the European Organization for Nuclear Research, restarted their newly upgraded LHC in order to find out more about dark matter and look for tiny black holes that could be gateways to alternate universes. This LHC is the world's most powerful particle accelerator, and the point of it is to try and recreate the conditions present during the Big Bang to see what kind of matter was produced. Its other project is finding those tiny black holes. A paper published by scientists at the University of Waterloo proposed a way to prove black holes connect our universe with other universes, so CERN intends on testing and proving their hypothesis. If they do, and it's likely that they do, it'll be the first experiment that proves the existence of alternate realities ever. Hopefully they also find out how to transition from this reality to that one. Thanks. Filling our number 7 slot is the Bermuda Triangle. I've been interested in the Bermuda Triangle ever since I found out people and airplanes and ships go missing in the area. There's just too much intrigue to not be interested. It's mysterious, things disappear, time and space becomes distorted. It's like a world of its own. The first article ever written about the place dubbed it the Sea of the Devil, which is just not the way you want to debut into the world of print. It's really not. Over the past century, there have been hundreds and hundreds of large air and sea vessels that have just disappeared. Other cases involve perfectly intact and working sea craft completely abandoned by their crew and the crew never being found. Eyewitnesses who have been and survived recall compasses going crazy when they entered the area, unusual clouds, and entering a rotating substance and exiting through a luminescent curtain of some kind. I don't know. Scientists like Einstein and Michio Kaku came up with theories about the refraction of time. Kaku had a theory about the river of time, saying it can lead to the formation of whirlpools of time in which it's possible to enter into different time spaces and that the river can fork into many directions. And obviously those different time spaces have alternate realities. The founder of the spiritual practice Falun Dafa said the triangle is definitely a gateway to another reality, but it's just very unpredictable. If the door happens to be open, then a ship could slip in for a moment and come back out by accident, but that second could be decades in our world because time is different in every dimension. What do you guys think? Now, number 6.
Oops.
Yeah, I had to stop that. What's going on in the chat?
Yeah, bullshit stuff.
All right, look, y'all, if there's a personal problem between two people, I don't want it linked, in here. That's not cool. If somebody has something against somebody else, let's just not do it in here, please. I don't need that, and I don't want any drama. I'm sorry that,
Maybe you should
can't get along.
maybe you should take away somebody's wrench.
What's going on, Valiant One? What is the problem that you and Stacy are having? What's going on? Let's try to get to the bottom of it real quick and then move on, please, or I'm going to end this live stream and then, yeah, it'll be different. Talk to Carla and Jen. I mean, I've seen something a few times here and there in the background, whatever. I mean, something going on. I mean, why is it still going on? Why is there still an issue? Why are people just letting that linger on? I mean, I don't understand. What's the deal? Because I don't want to, this place to be full of drama and people arguing and bickering and stuff. That just takes away from, what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to show here. And I don't have time for that stuff, man. When the Lord, when the Creator and the Lord shows me who, somebody's a shill or somebody's not a real truther, then I avoid them people. But and I definitely pray about the people I'm involved with or share my time with. So I haven't seen anything that says anybody that I have done shows with or associate with here on YouTube, is a shill or a non-truther or something, or has an evil agenda. So what is going on? Seriously. I mean, just because somebody accused you of something, come on, we got to let that stuff go. People accuse me of this, that, and the other. I mean, we just have to drop this stuff and just because people carry on and name call and all that stuff, I mean, it's just silly. Come on, we're not junior high. We're not in junior high here.
What it is, and you got.
We still need to focus on preparing ourselves for what's coming. Whatever it may be, and if we're just gonna bicker and argue and debate each other on it's just not gonna work. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to ban anybody or but. I mean, this is just silly, y'all. I'm not gonna partake in name calling and hating on other people that are in our community. If you I mean, this is just not right. I'm not gonna, I'll take away all the wrenches and then I'll start over if that's the case too. I'm not here for this stuff. I've wanted to give my wrenches back. Anybody that has given me a wrench can gladly take mine back because I don't want to focus on that stuff and worry about it and be concerned with the drama and stuff, man. I mean, come on. I think we're all of us that have been here for months and months are all on our own journey, but we're all seeking the truth, and the ones that aren't or disrupting or trying to mislead people, they get weeded out pretty fast. So this is just not going to work like this, folks. I will just make some changes here. I don't know if I can right now, but I mean, come on now. Yeah, this is not cool.
Nobody's gonna win this such an argument,
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna win anything of it. No.
I don't see where Stacy trolls, Valiant. Well, you're saying she trolls all live streams.
She always makes drama, and in a way, that's I get what he's saying. She's always quite. She comes on pretty strong, yeah, and she always has quite a remarkable story. But I also listened to her when she was very much calmer, and so that's also a side that maybe some people haven't seen of her yet. And that maybe more people, I like that side of her too, more. I'm not so much into drama too, and I get what Valiant was saying, but you shouldn't ban somebody for that, Just tell them.
Yeah. So what's the deal, Valiant One, with you and Carla? What did Carla do? I mean, Carla's loved by the whole community, and then here it is, like you against Carla. I mean, what's the deal there?
Carla is also, listen, guys. Carla's also a woman. She's quite emotional, and so is Stacy. Yeah, That's what's happening. Need I explain more? It's not like women always do like this. No, but some women, some personality types will just collide, yeah, and that's what's happening. Don't get dragged along in this. I'm a man. I don't even understand what it's about, and to be honest, I don't even want to know, because it's not interesting. It's not about something. It's a cat fight.
Well, it is just simply cat fight, and that's what I'm saying is we have got to be adults, especially in this time where we're seeing all this weird crap happen. Yeah. That we don't have time for this. I mean, see, I mean, it's already disrupting this show, and instead of us talking about what's going on, we're dealing with this little kitty stuff here that we could let go. I mean, we're all better than this, I mean, and people make mistakes, and stuff. Stacy is loved by a lot of people in this community too. So I mean, it's just, I don't see, where, I mean, I'm sure I have pissed off people too. I blocked some girl named Ange Walker or something like that, but I've seen her in other chats and have problems with people, and then then she name called me and I called her a B word, I mean, but I don't usually let my emotions get to me and get all involved in the drama stuff. That's why I say I'll give my wrenches back, because I'm not the judge of anybody, but I know when a troll's a real troll that comes in there with all their, spam and crap, and all that. But, we all have differences of opinion. I mean, man, there's not two of us that agree on everything in this community. There is not even two of us that agree on every single thing that we talk about. So we're not all on the same page. But of course, we all love the truth enough to seek it and share it spread it. And if we're just gonna be on here and every time we see somebody we don't agree with, we jump on them, that's just that's going to end up, everybody's going to get banned that jumps on that bandwagon,
Right.
and participates with that. I would hope somebody would ban me if I'm just going to always be lashing out at people I don't like in a chat room. That just gets nowhere quick. But so please don't ban anybody in my chat room just because they have a different opinion or you personally don't like them, because that's not going to work for me. But I see that every side has some truth to it too, whatever. But and some of us are more difficult to deal with than others. The song I played today is almost me at times, hard to love, because I am stuck in my ways, and I do change my opinion on things when I'm shown enough proof or the Lord leads me that way. But man, I'm telling you, my only agenda here is to expose evil from the New World Order, the One World Order, the elite, that type of stuff. And and make sure people don't believe the hype of the flu virus and all this crap. But seriously, we can't be here just bickering and arguing and fussing and debating stupid stuff or silly stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry your feelings are hurt on both sides. I get that, man. I was Dr. Phil before Dr. Phil was Dr. Phil, guys. I have solved people's problems for years. I've brought people together. I can be that role, but this just doesn't warrant that. We need to prop each other up. We need to try and help each other. And and not every single thing I say is going to impress somebody or help somebody, or it might even sound stupid or something. I mean, I'm not perfect, none of us are, and we just got to continue to seek the truth and spread it and try and get along with everybody best we can, especially if it's going to be something that's long and drawn out and that not everybody's going to appreciate. If it's just a few of y'all. Like I said, man, I mean, people will get tired of it and just ban, 2 or 3 or 4 people all together, then so that the channel can progress. We can't. This is not a soap opera. I don't want us to be a part of a soap opera,
Right.
and I don't want to create one. I'm an open book with you guys. I'm still kind of shocked that I shared my legal problems with you guys, but that's how much I care, and I risk losing subscribers. People can say, oh, Tommy's a thief now. Tommy's trying to get over on people or something, but I know in my heart what I did was not, thieving, and the people know that too. But you have a corrupt police department that got involved and didn't do what the people wanted them to do, which was just come over here and ask me for two of the 3 motors back, and everything would have been fine, worked, but yeah, they had to do everything ass backwards. But so if you guys can't get along, then just go ahead and depart from this particular chat, or whatever, and I'll see you where I see you. I'm not fixing to ban either one of you or anybody right now. So let's just, drop it or just go ahead and move on for now. And I wish everybody the best. I get it. I don't personally, I'm not head over heels for every single person in our group, but that doesn't mean I have any hatred for anybody. I don't. And I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon like that unless somebody comes out and shows they're truly evil or something. And I don't think anybody in our community of 100, 200 people, whatever you want to say, we have is trying to at the moment be evil or but some are caught up in some drama because their feelings are hurt. And I just pray for your feelings to be, not hurt any longer, and we can move on somehow. All right. So what's up, brother? What are you thinking about what we saw there? Do you remember some of what we just saw, the missing time and all that stuff, the story? Have you ever had any stories like that? Have you ever had any experiences like that where you've missed time and then, of any kind, like, even a few minutes?
No, but I believe those stories.
Yeah, I think they're real. Yeah, I've had moments where I felt like, it could have been, I've lost a little time or something, but,
Oh yeah, but now that I think of it, I have lost some time. When I
okay.
once closed my, we were traveling towards Spain, and I was like, I don't remember. I think.
Yeah, traveling, it's weird. Yeah, like Stavel's story, flying.
I don't remember. Maybe 10 years old or 13 years old, something like that, or even younger. And I never liked to ride for a day in the car. Of course, nobody does, especially not in the back. And but I remember closing my eyes and opening them, like just as I say it now. But in between was like 6 hours in which I slept and which I couldn't be woken by anybody or anything. But I just remember it, just opening my eyes, closing my eyes just for a second, and opening my eyes, and we're a completely different landscape. And I said, "What? Huh? What happened? Oh, are you finally awake? We tried to wake you up." And I said, "Well, what happened?" Well, just you wouldn't wake. I said, "Well, I just closed my eyes for a second." No. You were asleep for 6 hours. I said, "What?" So that happened to me. Yeah.
Wow. Yep. I've had a lot of those type moments there myself. Have you ever gone down the rabbit hole of like people claiming they've been abducted by aliens? Have you looked at that any?
No, but these stories, I've seen them, I've heard of them, many of them, of course, they come along.
It seems like most of the time, or a good bit of the time, they mention that they see like military people along with the aliens, or whatever, the entities, and so that definitely tells me that it's some kind of a psyop or program that that they're doing, and there anybody that is acceptable to that kind of stuff, or open to it, could probably be a victim to it, but yep. And I definitely believe MK Ultra is real, and they've probably got it even MK Ultra 2.0 now or whatever, where it's even more, they use it easier or whatever for them to do. But yeah, I'm on. So we'll finish this up here. There's 6 more on this one, I guess. Let's see. If I fast forward, there might be any of the stories that might be double from the other one that we watched. So if you see me fast forward, it's just skipping one a story we've seen already. It might by some, not the exact story, but yeah, the same story, but just told by her instead of the other guy or whatever. All right, so here we go. Top 10 pieces of evidence that alternate realities exist.
6 is the Desert Blip. Back in 1972, 4 girls were coming back from a Utah rodeo and they took the Utah Highway 56. Since their landlady had a really strict 12 a.m. curfew and it was already 10:30, the girls decided to take a shortcut off the highway which went towards Gadianton Canyon. They were driving on black asphalt for a while, but somewhere along the way it transformed into cracked concrete. The girls encountered a dead end and went back the way they came, but it took them a few minutes to realize their surroundings had completely changed. They went from driving in the desert to driving by lush fields of wheat near a large lake. At this point, the girls had no idea where they were, and in the distance they saw light coming from the building. So they went towards it, and when they got closer, they saw the neon sign spell out a message which they couldn't read. The letters or symbols were twisted lines and curves, a language none of the girls had ever seen before. Then, all of a sudden, extremely tall men started pouring out of the building and started waving their arms and pointing at the girls and then coming towards them. They looked human, but they weren't, and the girls took off screaming and crying. 30 seconds later, they realized that people were following them in egg-shaped vehicles that had one headlight, 2 front wheels, and 1 rear. They drove back into the canyon and soon lost the eggs, but wow, I really wonder where the hell they ended up. I'm convinced it was another universe. This sign, I can just imagine the sign being one of those fonts on Word that you have no idea what it's saying. It's probably one of those. Coming in at number 5 are psychopaths. Juicy, I know. So way back during the eugenics movement, scientists believed mankind could be improved by breeding out the evil and bad ones amongst us. It led to sterilizing prisoners and mental patients by the early 20th century. But Linda Campbell puts forth a theory that psychopaths are spiritually dead, demonized human predators that disguise the fact their mind is demonically filled. Their lack of empathy allows them to ignore reality and impose false realities on others made up of lies. The lack of empathy makes them blind to humanity, and so humans to them can be easily sacrificed, abused, tormented. You name it, it can happen to them. They possess an unlimited amount of demonic energy and get a thrill out of things we would categorize as screwed up. So Linda theorized these people actually exist in a demonically twisted, upside-down reality where everything they're doing and feeling makes complete sense to them in their reality. Our reality and theirs overlap. And their reality is a devilish anti-world within ours. And how this overlap happened, I have no idea. But it's not the first time blips or overlaps have popped up within this topic. So, at number 4 is The Cabin. It was so hard finding links about this story, it's like the universe just didn't want me to share it and know more, but I will. But anyway, many years ago, a woman and her friends went camping near a forest. They were having a good time, toasting marshmallows, the whole shebang, when they heard some music come from a stone cabin. First of all, I don't know why they weren't suspicious of a random stone cabin in the forest to begin with, but sure. Moving on, when they went to the cabin, they apparently saw a bunch of people wearing 17th century clothing just dancing inside. The woman was almost drawn to it and she tried to enter it, but before she entered all the way, her friend pulled her away and half her body immediately became paralyzed. Yes, the half that entered the cabin. Like out of nowhere, nothing happened, she just became paralyzed. Many believe the woman actually stepped into a dimensional gateway to an alternate reality, but when she was pulled away, she felt a shift that completely threw off her nervous system. I mean, obviously, since our systems don't experience alternate realities frequently, and thus she became paralyzed. Filling at number 3 spot are doppelgangers. It's a tricky subject. How is it possible for someone unrelated to us at all to look exactly like us? Looks are genetic. We look the way we do because of our ancestors. I don't need to explain that. So how can anyone else look exactly like us? From a scientific and biological standpoint, it just doesn't make sense. They're meant to be us in an alternate reality, living their lives, but somehow in the configuration of endless possibilities of realities and universes, a glitch occurred and 2 of the same person ended up in the same reality when technically they shouldn't have been. They're not our clones, they still carry out their own lives like they would have in the alternate reality, except they're here and they look exactly like us. And at number 2 is Laxaria. Back in 1851, a man called Jofar Voren was found in a German village speaking a bit of broken, weird German. When locals in the area found him, he said he spoke the languages Ibranian and Laxarian, and that he was from Laxaria, from an area called Sacria, which was separated from Europe by an ocean. He said his world had 5 great compartments, aka continents, called Sacria, Asta, Afla, Eupla, and Osla, which obviously stunned everyone because none of those things exist. He went on to say he was Christian, but that it was also called Aspasian in Laxaria. You may be wondering why he was in Germany to begin with. He could have just easily stayed in Laxaria. He was trying to find his long-lost brother, but then suffered a shipwreck on his way and wound up in Germany. Despite looking at many maps, he couldn't trace his route from any shore or find his way back. People believe he's from an alternate universe and somehow ended up in ours. Who knows, maybe he went through his world's version of the Bermuda Triangle, and that's how he got here. And finally, at number 1 are the Green Children of Woolpit. Now,
Alrighty then. What do you think about that, bro?
Yeah.
Great
Great story.
Crazy stuff, yeah.
I believe it might be true. But I totally don't have an explanation for it.
Right. Do. Man, oh man, oh man.
At least At least not with us. With the knowledge that we think we have, Maybe it's something indeed like a timeline mixed up, but yeah, what the fuck is a timeline?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're just
If time is man-made,
Yeah.
Is it manipulatable? If that's the word.
probably because it also happens on occasion, like by accident.
Thanks for reminding me about that, Stacey B. There's a new Twilight Zone series, and I bet you it's got some Mandela type stuff in it, man. It's a spin-off, or it's the same people, whatever, but it's called the Twilight Zone, but it's an updated, one. Have you heard about it?
No.
I've got to check it out. I don't really care about TV, but when it's stuff like that, because I've been saying for years now, for at least a few years now, that I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone often, I mean, that's how crazy it's been, going through this Mandela,
Definitely.
rabbit hole. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So do you agree with me that if, like, when people say, well, there's no signs that it's the end of the earth is near, or whatever, that something big's going to happen, because everybody's been saying something's going to happen for forever now, and nothing's happened, but do you agree that there are definitely signs that show that that something
Like I stated before, whether the Bible is a script whether it's a screenplay for the rulers, or whether it's real prophecies, you can see that what's written there is happening now.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's on purpose or whether that's not on purpose, like you also said,
Mm-hmm.
whether they do it knowingly or whether they just do it
based on what it says they're going to do. Yeah,
it's happening. So it's not a question of belief. It's not a question of belief.
I think that they would do the exact same things, that they're doing, even if the Bible wasn't around. That's the way I look at it. This was what was going to be done.
But whether that's the case or not, that's. I mean, I get what you're saying, but that's not even the issue, because if you read the Bible and you see the signs that they're talking about, that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's evident. That's evident.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't make you a believer. That makes you a seer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you can see it happening. You can see that it wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
And
you're on the right path. I like to say, whoever can see these changes and know that this is not, that this is something serious going on. We're definitely you're definitely on the right path if you're seeking the truth and seeing it and spreading it. But welcome. Tell me the truth. Good to see you. I don't know how long you were been in here, but always good to see you, Michael Healy, everybody, and Gaynor. Yep, she's in Florida, like me, apparently, Ann is. She's probably in a warmer part. I can't remember where she said she's at exactly. But anyway, so
Florida,
the flattest state in America.
I thought it was Kansas.
Nope, it's Florida. Kansas is almost as flat, but yeah.
Hi, Queen of Swords.
So how do they explain away a state that is going like opposite of all the other states? How come how could Florida be so flat?
Yeah.
What I'm saying, when it's hanging off of the, yeah, I don't know. but they know. I wish that somebody, I would even volunteer, could go up like a Augusta Picard just the way he did. And, I mean, why isn't he more famous, than he is, well known? Yeah.
And his son too. His son did the same thing, but like Into the Sea, right?
Yep. The depths of the sea. Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite a story.
Yes, indeed. I've said this before, but I do not believe in the Book of Revelations. So your Mandela, it's Book of Revelation, not with the S, but a lot of people remember the S on there, I guess too. I honestly can't say. It makes sense with all the S's dropping and adding and stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to say.
I'd like to address to tell me truth. It's not a question of belief. It's not a question of belief. It's just read the Book of Revelations and look at these times. Look at what's happening. It's not a question of belief. It's a question of comparison. Look, it's a question of.
Yeah, just read it as if it was a playbook.
I'm not speaking about belief. It's about look what it says and look in the world today, and you can see that book is talking about what is happening in the world today. So it's not. I don't want you to believe it. I don't want to believe it. But there is too much comparison between the both to say. To dismiss it, and that's not a case of it's a screenplay for the bad guys or the good guys, or whether it's written by God or written by men as a prophecy. It's about seeing that there's comparison. There's more than correlation. There's more than correlation. It's really prophecy fulfilling.
Yeah. I can break it down a little.
I'm not overstating that.
I can break it down a little further for you. See, just like these evil people, these people loyal to the beast system, to the New World Order agenda, can tap into the other side, into to where they're getting information from spirits. Okay.
Tell me about it.
Well, men that were godly back in the day, if you will, were tapping into the good side or whatever, and John was shown that was what was going to happen. That man was going to choose to do these things he's doing now. So like I said, even if this Bible didn't exist, they would be doing the exact same things. I do believe that they're doing now, because that's just what they did, what they decided to do. And there's a record of it. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's because this was written that's the only reason they did it, or doing the things they're doing, Oh boy, maybe I didn't explain that right, but anyway, yeah, I definitely think that that John was shown, the future, and this is the future that he was shown. Yeah. That's just, it's that simple. It's just like if you had a crystal ball and you were and it was powered up by Satan or God, whatever, and you saw what was going to happen, and it came true. That's what's going on here. People have such a hard time believing in supernatural things, happening, but they believe in black magic and witchcraft and voodoo magic and all these things, and they believe in miracles too. But they can't understand that men can use these things as a tool to make changes and whatnot. I mean, it's just the way it is, folks. It just they're oh boy. You better believe that they're really trying to open doorways to get out of here, because they know that the end is near, or that something is coming, seriously, that's going to be like the end, because, that's their goal, is to escape, a judgment or God's wrath or anything, or our wrath, us standing up against them. How about that? Just the fact that someday they're going to be outnumbered when they put their foot down on our throat and don't let up. They're already trying. They've already got us on the ground. Now they're ready to put their foot on our throats, and they're ready to put a ball and chain on us and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom and scary, but I'm just trying to tell you that I've known this agenda since I was 18 years old, folks. They are playing it by their playbook, that just happens to match the record that John had of what would happen, when we got this time, this season.
That's the season.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason for this season. Just the comparisons in the book and the anti-God agenda being so obvious gets me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's see, you're on the right path there, Michael. The Mandela effect sealed the deal. Yep. Mm-hmm. No doubt, man. No, I'll tell you what sealed the deal for me, Michael, was calling my hometown pastor. I'm crying, upset, and just disturbed that my Bible that I've owned for almost 30 years had changed on me, but not just that. His reaction, that sealed it for me. His reaction, that to everyone I pointed out to him, he just defended the word, trying to defend the word. Oh, no, it always said that, or, whatever, or this, that, and the other. And that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
That part scared me. This man has read the Bible, a gazillion times, and there should be no reason why he can't see that from the first sentence in the Bible to almost the last, there's changes or whatever, because...
And weird changes. Changes.
I'm willing to say that I don't know if my Bible changed 100 years ago. It could have been through a Mandela effect all before this too. So we don't know how much this Bible's been changed over the years. We know that that books have been removed.
But
good books.
But about that, even if that's an interesting angle, because even if the Bible is changed now by the Mandela effect, the Bible has also been changed by the Council of Nicaea,
Mm-hmm.
and by several others who have written and rewritten it and recanonized
all these agendas to change it. Exactly.
And so whether it's changing through Mandela, or whether it's changing by editing or re-editing, it will change,
It is, and it will continue.
There's truth in there, because it's quite a holy book, as you can tell. Yeah. As we can tell these days. I mean, you can look outside into the world, or just open a page about the news, or and then look in Revelations. I mean, I'm not a Bible study. I had to read it like 2 times, and then I knew enough. It's not rocket science.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's not rocket science.
Sure glad it
So
ain't.
men being women and women being men. I mean, that's quite clear. That's quite clear a message, and you can see it in this world. And people being proud of their deformation or of their defamation. I mean, it's insane. It's silly.
Yeah.
Complete silly. And this is the days we're living in. And when you see these signs, know that it's going to get a lot worse.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's going to get worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know we can't take.
But don't be afraid.
I mean, obviously, with the Bible changes, we can't take every single word as serious as we, maybe used to. But there is definitely some prophecy in here that, I mean, makes sense and is being fulfilled. And, I mean, I don't know what else to say on that. I mean, you know, I will never dismiss, you know, the book. Everything we learn, you know, comes from books, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, everything we've been taught, you know, came from textbooks and, you know, trade books and whatever, you know. You know, it's just so, you know, and there's plenty of books that we read that we know we can't take serious, or, you know, or whatever. We you know, obviously, and we know that we were taught a lot of things wrong too, in school, and especially in history, you know, geography and all that, you know, social studies, you know. So yeah, it's an upside down, backwards world we live in, man. Ass backwards. I just watched a movie last night on the Challenger disaster. Yeah, where the whole movie's about, you know, these engineers that are trying to stop the thing from taking off because of O-rings, bad O-rings and whatnot. You know, but here these people are still alive, folks. At least all of them but one. And I've done enough research. Believe me, I've done hundreds of hours of research on that. I watched it blow up in school. They had it on, you know, in school in my classroom. We watched it take off and blow up. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there was no astronauts on that shuttle. You know, none of them were, and now they're alive, all but one or whatever, you know, has been found. Some of them are using their same name. A couple of them are saying they're the twins of you know, it's so ridiculous. Folks.
Nobody sits on fireworks. Nobody sits on fireworks. Nobody does that. Nobody ties himself to one big piece
fireworks
and shoots himself in the air. I mean,
it's. I guarantee you can find some idiots. You know, you can find somebody dumb enough to go with the program. But I'm telling you, these people, even if they were dumb enough to, they didn't get in that thing and die. I'm sorry, you know, they just did not. And you know, we've never been to the moon, and I find it ridiculous that more people don't call BS on their whole Apollo program, you know, because I ask people all the time, how many times did we go to the moon? Once, not 6 times, man. It's ridiculous, man. We didn't go once. We didn't even go then. But, you know, for them to say, oh, yeah, we went 5 more times after, you know, the first time. Bullshit. Oh, bull crap, man.
But it's not going to work. We're not going to wake them all up. It's not gonna be like that. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be. We are not going to wake up the masses. I wish we could.
No, I know that. I get that, brother. You know, but I will always expose, you know, NASA and other, you know, corruption and tyranny and evil out. You know, that's just me. I am a watchman on the wall. You know, I definitely look at myself as that. And you know, there is a probably a certain number, or at least it will come out to be a certain number of how many people will wake up and you know and whatever, you know, be aware of everything that's going on before it hits the fan. You know, so if it's a countdown to that last person that you know needs to you know come aboard the ark, then I'll keep on until that person, you know, I'll help, you know, spread the word until that person, you know, that last person wakes up or comes aware, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
we could, you know, I mean, I'm not going to do anything to accelerate the you know whatever's coming, but me myself, I look forward to it. I'm ready to face whatever you know.
I'm actually like the kind of guy who would walk out on the street just to talk to people. Like, guys, it's flat. But I'm not doing it alone, and I can't find anybody. I can't find anybody who I would do it with. And I know for sure that I'm going to be arrested by the police, of course. Because it's me, they're gonna arrest me.
Yeah,
and
right.
whether they have the right or not, they're just gonna do it. You know.
You better believe I took advantage of that situation too, and I shared all kinds of information with people while I was locked up those 3 days. You know, and I felt led to, and you know, that's just me. Regardless, so I talked about the Mandela effect and everything in between. You know, the flat Earth and all. So
bingo.
I'm never too embarrassed to ask anybody, and I don't care who they are. The more important they think they are, then that's great. I want to know what they're thinking, and what their opinion is on stuff. That people say, "Oh, well, don't talk to any psychiatrists or mental health people about Mandela effect." Shit, I want to see. If they already have an opinion anyway on anybody that believes in it. Whatever. But I'm not going to hide that I know it's real, and I'm not gonna silence myself. I like that. If given the chance,
let me advise you there. I mean, it's not.
I'd ask the judge about Judge Judy's gavel. Because think about it, judge is they watch they watch judge shows. So I'd love to ask a judge that I stand before. Hey, by the way, Judge, do you remember Judge Judy? With her gavel, whatever.
You just gotta keep it. Just gotta keep it with that. Just don't mention the Mandela effect. Just don't mention that name. Just mention it like. Know what I just saw? Like it was like this.
I don't ask people if they've ever heard of the Mandela effect. I say, hey, what animal lied down with the lamb in Isaiah 11:6? And they'll say the lion, of course. I mean, like 99% of the time, I've had one or two people say the wolf, just probably from them already taking the update and shit, and whatnot. But yeah, most people, including a few pastors, have said.
Some people have always seen the wolf and have always read the wolf. Of course, they exist too.
Right.
Like
young people for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, I'm curious to know, when did the NASB change? Because back in the day, you had the King James Version and you had the NASB version, and now that one definitely says wolf too. So one of them had to say lion back then because Martin Luther King referenced it a couple times in his "I Have a Dream" speech. That lion and the lamb, not wolf.
Yeah.
So, and his only options was the NASB and the King James Version, and he was known to use just the King James Version. So, there's that too. I'm late on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a gravity right now.
Yeah, I'm skinning up.
I hear ya. And somebody's blowing my phone up. I gotta check that. Get text messages. Not sex messages, text messages. Yeah. Did
give a little shout out to Ann Gaynor, to Michael Healy,
Queen of Swords,
Lady, the intrepid explorer.
Yeah, Spark.
Spirit Seal, shout out. Stacy B, nice to see you. Tell Me Truth in the house. Tobin Swing. Tommy, tell me truth. Oh no, Tommy, tell the truth. And Zillion Rocha.
You mean tell me the truth?
Let's tell me truth. Tell me truth.
Tell me truth. Yeah. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Well, I got one more. You want to check out that last video? The parallel, it's the other parallel universe one. Let's see where it's at here. Make sure I still got it. This one is top 10 scariest messages sent from a parallel universe.
Okay, bring it on.
It'll be entertaining if nothing else. All right, so here we go. Don't show this again. Yes. I'm going to mute my I said I'm gonna mute mine, but I'll check and see if it's working, if the audio is good. But I think I can mute my side while it's playing, and y'all can still hear it. Pretty sure.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Hi.
Yes,
Just
still
want
working.
to ask you. Please add your name.
So hear me out. We all know the only thing we know for certain is our own personal experiences, like subjective and everything. A first person experience in like the current universe we are experiencing, if you're getting my drift. But think about it, this may not be the only universe. Parallel universes, the multiverse theory, you've probably heard them and it's wild. And yeah, while we are all moving along the same timeline, we may not all be experiencing the same universe at the same time, in my opinion. And who knows if the Abby you are experiencing is the same Abby I am projecting, you know? And what if that Abby isn't wearing this really cool merch you can check out in the link in the bio? That was smooth, right? But enough rambling. Today, I am bringing you top 10 scary messages sent from a parallel universe. Maybe these are some glitches in the simulation, but let's explore. All right, starting at number 10, unsafe.
I don't like
your word rambling.
What's it with her doing these things?
Yeah, it's like she's trying to hypnotize you or something. You know? Yeah, weird, man. Weird.
What's the young lady mixed with the gangster? What's it? Is it one or the other? Are you trying to attract all kinds?
That MA on her shirt stands for my ass. Me ass. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. All right. Wow. Ridiculous.
Sanctioned connection. Reddit user Stars and Severance shared an experience they had when they were younger. When they were 12, they got their first phone for Christmas. Then, one night over the holidays, they had a crazy realistic dream. In the dream, they went to a girl's house making line faces out of construction paper. And the girl in this very vivid dream had long red hair and looked nothing like anyone they knew. Then, the next day after this dream, they got a text from an unknown number. It said something along the lines of, "You'll never guess who I am." And then after some back and forth guessing, thinking it's one of their friends, the number sends a picture of a lion plate, just like in the dream. Then the next photo is a selfie, and the person texting had long red hair. Then through other texting and a one-sided game of 20 questions, it turns out this girl with the red hair knows all about the person receiving the text messages. So then they text for about 3 days before the girl texting them said, "Lose my number, forget me." She stated, "They are mad because I reached out to you." And who's they? Well, the user who shared this story didn't question the arguments of the girl and deleted the number in the text, never hearing from the girl again. But this leads me to think, from a dream to reality, this girl appeared. One explanation is a parallel universe. Think about it. Dreams can sure be wild and weird, but what about those times it feels just like real life? Can that be another universe trying to make a connection without freaking us out? Maybe. All right, let's look at another text. Next, at number 9, disappearing texts. Random user on Reddit shared this experience they had. Their girlfriend was working at a restaurant that night and sent them a text that read, "Hey, I'm picking you up food when I'm done, so don't eat anything. Love you." And this message appeared during an emergency broadcast alert and then disappeared right after the alert. This seemed odd, so the person restarted their phone and went to go pick up their girlfriend from the restaurant. When they picked her up, she said they should go somewhere to eat, which threw them off because didn't she just say she was grabbing them food? But she said her phone was off the whole time she was at work. Never sent a text. The author of the story said they saw her turn on her phone as if it was off the whole time, and there was no evidence of a text sent. But the text they received came from the girlfriend's number. So their explanation? It must have been sent from an alternate universe, a parallel one where their girlfriend was going to get them food, and this was just a glitch in the matrix that disappeared once it slipped out. And texts aren't the only thing to slip through the matrix. Next, at number 8, an unexplainable photo. So Reddit user Jake Venom had a scare 7 years ago when he found a photo on his phone he couldn't explain. He was making some iced tea with a new tea maker and sent a photo to his buddy's group chat when the previous photo in his phone caught his eye. The previous photo was supposed to be the screenshot from Twitter he sent to a friend last night, but it wasn't. It was a blurry photo of what he recognized as the kitchen of his childhood house, but he hadn't been to that house. He sent the Twitter screenshot before he went to bed, and then he sent the tea maker photo when he was making tea in the morning. So this obviously freaked him out. He said he kept having a weird feeling when he was looking at the photo and there was no reasonable explanation for it, so he ended up deleting it to stop feeling that uneasy feeling. But another Jake Venom in another timeline still lives in that house and took a photo in his kitchen that never showed up on his phone. I'm thinking it could be. These alternate parallel universes must be like so missed. And so these have been digital so far, but what about a person who says they are from a place that no one knows exists or doesn't exist? At number 7, from Lexaria. Back in 1851, a man who called himself Jofar Voren, or Joseph Voren, was found as he was wandering a German village. Joseph was speaking in broken German, but also spoke and wrote in unknown languages that he called Laxarian and Abramian. He said he was in Europe to find his long-lost brother, but he suffered in a shipwreck, as he came from Lexaria, which is in an area of Sakria. Now, if that doesn't ring a bell in your head, no, it didn't ring any bells for any of the officials trying to help this man out. He couldn't find where he was from. Any maps or globes didn't match what he knew. He called the 5 great continents of Earth Sakria, Alfar, Astar, Ulslar, and Yurplar, which doesn't match any of ours. People think he somehow fell into our universe from one much different from our own and much further away from where he anticipated to find his brother. But what do you think? But next, more of something different. At number 6, experiencing different days. This one comes from Stewie2Griffin34 on Reddit, who was watching another one of our parallel universe videos a couple months ago. It got them thinking of a weird day they themselves had. Their friend Kate, on break from her way to detention, said that their friend Nick wasn't in that day. But when they both got home, they got texts from both Nick and Kate saying that no, Nick was in school and detention and everything that day. And then Kate said that she hadn't told them that Nick wasn't in because she never took a break outside detention. So then they were all confused. And then on top of that, Nick said that he saw them go into the library that day and was at school, saying the user who posted this was just acting distant. And the next day, the user, trying to figure out what was happening, tried to get other opinions, and Nick's friends said, no, Nick wasn't in the day before. So was this a prank or different people experiencing different days? And I swear, I remember when people tell me something specific, and then they say, no, that never happened, and I get confused. So, what is the truth? On to number 5, missing graveyard. Reddit user City Loves Chew says her mom was the one to have the trippy experience in this one. The mom in question was traveling with a friend in Old Lyme, Connecticut to a beach they often went to, Hawks Nest Beach. They had free time one day and explored the area and ended up finding a cool cemetery called the Lord's Cemetery with a big red gate. They checked it out, took some cool pictures, and then left. No biggie. But the next day, they couldn't find the same spot again. They asked people in town, police officers, everybody, and no one had heard of it. They tried to find it in the years following, but couldn't find it, even with the help of Google Maps. Plus, the photos they took were gone. No explanation, which, when you think about it, is a grave experience from a parallel universe. And okay, that was a bad pun. We'll move on to the next one. Sorry. Next is number 4, from Denny's to Penny's. So, what if suddenly something so basic and normal to you was changed without question, and everyone then accepted it as the norm? Well, this happened to Reddit user is_emo. Back when they were a kid, they went to Denny's pretty often. So they were kind of shaken when one day, when they were young, their dad shook them awake and said, hey, we're heading to Penny's. And so they were all like, you mean Denny's, right? And their dad was like, no, Penny's. So they kind of accepted this, maybe it's a joke, and they roll up, but the yellow sign that is supposed to say Denny's is changed to Penny's. So now this kid is freaking out, but trying to keep cool, hide it. And yeah, you might be thinking this was just a one-day thing, maybe it was just shaking up, but no. They passed by this sign every day to school for a month, and all their friends at school kept saying it had always been Penny's anytime this person asked. But then, a month later, boom, Denny's again. So the kid asks his dad if it's changed, and their dad looks confused and asks, what do you mean? And so the kid plays it cool, but it shook them up for a while. Shook them up until they heard about possible parallel universes, and then it made total sense to them. What do you think Denny's is called in other universes? That's what I want to know. But anyways, the realization that there might be other universes doesn't come to everybody. At number 3, Guardian Angle. Now, a 28-year-old in Washington, D.C. named Lindsay got a scare from an unknown number. Whoever it was had bad spelling and used shortened text speak, saying such as, Lindsay, I see you, with Lindsay misspelled and the words all in letter form. But this wasn't what scared her though, even though there was one text that said, "I'm your guardian angel." What scared her is when she started getting texts about what she was doing currently, things that could only be described if someone was watching her, talking about her watching TV and saying they were standing right next to Lindsay. Lindsay had enough of this, it was freaking her out, and she called the number that she got from the landline, but the line said the number wasn't in service. Then the number texted her saying, "Why did you have to do that? And you know what you did." And so this was enough for Lindsay to get really shaken, so she got the police to help her investigate, but nothing came out of it. Now, what I think is this was a trickster from a parallel universe playing a prank on her. But what do you think it could be? Something a little more paranormal? But moving on to number 2, unsent text. Sometimes the story doesn't come from the person who gets the wild text, but the person who gets the reaction to it. Reddit user Trodat5204 had her sister call her out of the blue over a text she allegedly sent her. Her sister said she sent a text saying, "Hey," insert some unusual pet names she sometimes calls her sister, "I'm in this city now. I'm scared, but it's okay and it's safe here. Your sister." So the person who posted this obviously censored their information, so that's why it reads kind of weird and I keep doing brackets. But anyways, her sister is calling her to demand to know why she's in a different city, why she got this text from a different number, and wants to know what's going on. So the person who got called clarifies the situation for her sister, and they call this other number together. But it just keeps on ringing. They couldn't reach what they thought to be a reasonable explanation, so the Reddit post says it could be maybe 3 things. 1, a coincidence. 2, a joke. Or 3, a parallel universe. Someone in another universe was scared and lost, but the text got sent to the wrong sister in the wrong universe. But on to number 1, alternate universe FaceTime. Reddit user Anonymous5000 left a story of what they described as a glitch in the Matrix story on the comments of another post. What they experienced they could only describe as a FaceTime call from another universe. This user is the father of a 6-year-old daughter, and they keep in touch over FaceTime when she stays at her mom's house. While he's talking to her daughter, having a long conversation over FaceTime, when she starts asking if her mommy and daddy are going to be together forever. He then gets confused because they experienced they could only describe as a FaceTime call from another universe. This user is the father of a 6-year-old daughter, and they keep in touch over
Woo, woo, woo. Some crazy stuff, man. Crazy and bizarre. By far. Let's see what's going on. Zealand, yes, as the days of Noah, and also like the days of Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah, all that kind of stuff. Definitely. Valiant, let's see. Sparky, OG. Hey, Sparky. Good to see you. Rick Swain, hey, in the house. What's happening, bro? Good to see you. All right. So I've got one more video I want to share, and then we'll probably talk a little bit about that, and then probably wrap this thing up. Won't probably go longer than 3 hours, but we'll see what happens. But this next video I just found this morning. I have not watched it yet, and it's 15 times the Simpsons predicted the future, and I just want to check it out. So y'all are watching it with me for the first time. I don't know if you've seen it. You might have. I don't know how old it is. It's not that old. It's actually just a few months. What? Oh no, it's a couple years old. My bad. But it had anyway. We'll still check it out here.
The world's greatest prophets: the Mayans, Nostradamus, Edgar Casey, Bram Stark, Homer Simpson.
Hey, Nostradamus, did the rapture come? I can't recall. Oh, in fact, I can recall, and it didn't, and you suck.
The Simpsons is not only the longest running sitcom and animated show on TV, it's arguably one of the best shows, period. But did you know the show also employs a stunning amount of prophets? That's right, The Simpsons has predicted some major historical events and some completely random things like this.
Take a memo on your news. Beat up Martin.
Let's see. Beat up Martin. Still doesn't work. What the Let's take a look at 15 things The Simpsons has predicted correctly. Before we get started, guys, I have a prediction of my own. You're going to subscribe to GameSpot Universe right now. Okay, maybe not, but what if I ask nicely? Please subscribe, because in each episode and a video on every typically FaceTime or video conferencing, which was predicted back in '95. Lisa visits a fortune teller at a fair, and we're transported 15 years into the future. She's talking to Marge using her phone's video chat feature called a picture phone, which was ahead of its time, but finally became a reality in 2010. And now we all use it, even our grandparents.
Oh, don't worry, honey. I guarantee your father will behave. Mom, it's a picture phone. This? Oh, no, I just got a touch of the moon, it is. Mom, picture phone.
From the very same episode, the smartwatch. Lisa's fiance makes a phone call using his extremely fashionable watch. Kind of reminds me of Dick Tracy and how bad I wanted one of those things. But it wasn't until 19 years later that modern voice recognition-enabled smartwatches would become widely available to the masses, thanks to Google, Samsung, and Apple. Moving on, the GoPro, or a camera in comparable size that was featured on a 1994 episode. Homer took part in a hidden camera investigation into the expired meat on sale at the Quickie Mart. Bite Back host Ken Brockman and the Channel 6 investigative news team give Homer a giant novelty hat to wear that contains a tiny camera in it. And we know only a GoPro would fit in there. 20 years later, we were introduced to the GoPro, which is the go-to hands-free way to record your travels while swimming, running, biking, or spying on people. That's some of the good tech, but how about some shitty tech, as in faulty voting machines? Inspired by the 2008 presidential election, this episode finds Homer trying to place a vote for Barack Obama, and it doesn't go so well.
Hey, I only missed one of those votes for McCain. This machine is rigged.
Now that happened to my grandfather when he was voting. He had to do it 2 times or 3 times. It would switch over to Obama. And he, obviously didn't want to vote for Obama, but so I imagine that happened to a lot of people. They wanted to vote for somebody else, and it voted for Obama instead for him.
Must tell President McCain. This doesn't happen in America. Maybe Ohio, but not in America.
Now in 2012, this actually happened, and there's video on YouTube to prove it. Racking over 10 million views, this Pennsylvania machine wasn't calibrated correctly and changes a vote for Obama to Mitt Romney. Speaking of presidential elections, The Simpsons predicted Trump, as in President Trump. Yep, it's another flash forward to the future as Bart is an adult and Lisa is the president of the United States. Unfortunately, she is tasked with the gargantuan task of cleaning up after the disastrous job left by Donald Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten? We're broke. The country is broke? How can that be?
The National Security Agency made headlines
because NASA and other evil people take our money.
In 2013, but the NSA played a pivotal role in the Simpsons movie back in 2007. Quick refresher. Homer accidentally pollutes Springfield's water supply, the family goes on the run, and the EPA declares the family as fugitives. The NSA in on their conversations. And 6 years later, Edward Snowden revealed widespread mass surveillance of its citizens by the American government through phone and internet records. The show also correctly predicted the 2016 Nobel Prize winner 6 years before it happened. That's right, never underestimate Milhouse. He's a genius. Seriously. In 2010, he correctly predicted Ben Holmstrom would win it, and he did in 2016. The Nobel Prize in Economics. Milhouse was part of a Nobel Prize betting pool. Nerd alert, with Lisa, Martin, and Database. It doesn't take a Nobel Prize winner to predict this one. FIFA is corrupt. Back in 2014, Homer was asked by FIFA to help repair the organization's image and to actually referee a World Cup in Brazil. Yep, that happened. The episode forecasted the FIFA arrests, though not by naming anyone specifically. Real-life FIFA officials were indicted a year later amidst corruption claims, bribery, and money laundering. Also, bonus points because The Simpsons also predicted that Germany would beat Brazil in that World Cup final. They just missed on the score. It turns out the Simpsons writers are also mathematicians, apparently, because Homer Simpson discovered the Higgs boson before anyone else. Homer was a good 14 years early on the God particle, which helps explain how everything in the universe has mass. In a 1998 episode, Homer becomes an inventor and is shown at a chalkboard with an extremely complicated equation. Unbelievably, that equation actually predicts the mass of the Higgs boson, or something extremely close to it. Believe me, it's incredible, and was co-signed by Dr. Simon Singh, author of The Simpsons and Their Mathematical Secrets. This one is extremely bleak, but The Simpsons may have hinted at the Ebola outbreak way back in 1997.
Imagine that. And look, Curious George, Mandela Effect.
Right? Hey, but Tommy, you're not screen sharing.
What?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Nope.
Dang it. All right, let me go to it then. At least we can finish the rest of it. Why didn't you tell me?
I told you.
I heard you say something, but I didn't hear. I couldn't understand what you said. Hey, it happens, folks. This is live, you know. Even live television screws up. Oh, damn. Okay, let's see. Are we sharing now?
Yep.
All right.
Marge trying to get a sick and depressed Bart out of bed and offering to read him this book, Curious George and the Ebola Virus.
Would you like to color something? I did.
Could that drawing be a sign of life after an outbreak of a deadly virus? I know it's a stretch, but this episode was widely shared by YouTube user The Controversy 7, who theorized that the show predicted the 2014 American.
Do you think that Curious George has a tail?
Yeah, it's hard to see now.
I wish they'd open it and he didn't have a tail, you know. It'd be great. What did I do?
Ebola outbreak. Elsewhere in the world, the show also predicted Greece's financial crisis a few years early. Back in 2012, Homer appeared as a guest commentator on the program Headbutt. Watch closely as the ticker runs across the bottom of the screen. Europe puts Greece on eBay. Of course, just 3 years later, Greece plunged into economic crisis, becoming the first developed country to default on an International Monetary Fund loan repayment. And yet another scary one, Siegfried and Roy's tiger attack. In the episode, Mr. Burns is opening up a casino with a wannabe Siegfried and Roy, two German magicians, Gunther and Ernst, and their long-running show that tragically ends in a tiger attack. 10 years later, Roy Horn was mauled in Las Vegas during a performance that left him partially paralyzed and ended the show's 13-year production. Speaking of performers, the show predicted Lady Gaga and her Super Bowl halftime show. Kudos for guessing Gaga would headline a big-time performance, but it's not all that impressive. Hell, she's one of the world's biggest stars. What's really impressive, however, is how spot-on the performance was. Her Springfield performance had her suspended in air, and the same came true 5 years later when she descended from the roof at halftime during Super Bowl 51. Only Sting did it better. This one was recently confirmed. Disney owns Fox. Back in 1998, director Ron Howard pitches Homer's screenplay to producer Brian Grazer at 20th Century Fox. Now, pay close attention to the sign at the beginning of this scene. The Fox studio lot is, quote, a division of the Walt Disney Company. Almost 20 years and more than $50 billion later, the Disney-Fox deal is a reality as Mickey Mouse and company continue their war with Netflix for your entertainment attention. And let's end it here because this one is extremely nuts and in no way feasible. The Simpsons predicted 9/11 in 1997. YouTube user Truth Will Find You Brew points out that the bus advertisement that promises New York tickets for $9 perfectly lines up next to the Twin Towers to read, New York 9/11. No way that is anything more than just a complete coincidence. But this is what happens when you spend way too much time on internet conspiracy theory rabbit holes.
Imagine that. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
So what do you think about all that, brother, man?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's like all these predictions and all these changes in the past, they make you wonder and wonder, and the Mandela effect makes you wonder and makes you have questions. And so it's, I just heard Ann Gaynor say, Mandela effect is real and predictions are real. and but it's not that what I question, but I question reality, and I think that's a very good way of approaching, actually. Just question reality, man, because it's also like Matt from Quantum of Conscience says, it's a total breakdown of reality. It's like we know now that reality, like the Buddha said, it's one big illusion, and like Einstein said, reality is just an illusion, though be it a very persistent one. And we are getting to that point too now, right? Experiencing like you can't make sense out of it. Don't even try to make sense out of it, because the more you will try to follow the narrative and try to make sense of it, the more disappointed you will be. You will end up disappointed.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't think that it's unhealthy for us to try and put the puzzle together of what's going on,
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, now if we were totally like, I don't know. I mean, some would probably say we are obsessed just by the amount of time that we discuss it and stuff like that or whatever. But I mean, for that, then that's when I usually say, well, what television shows how many television shows you watch in a day and all that, how addicted to sports are you, and, or show cars and stuff like that, because I mean, just because I spend, hours a day,
I spend all my day. I spend all my day on YouTube, and I'm not happy with that. I'd rather have a life, but I don't. And I don't enjoy human contact, because humans are just a bit weird. Simple as that.
Right, but we're the weird ones in everybody else's eyes, though.
So that's the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Good to see you, Flat Accord Music fam. Always good to see you, bro. Always glad to see you. Definitely. Appreciate you coming in. So yeah,
that's some nice.
I'm never going to feel bad for looking into what's going on and wanting to know. See, my sister tries to do that to me sometimes. She'll just like, I don't get it. Why do you look into these things? I mean, I enjoy looking into the Mandela effects and helping new people, understand them or whatever. I mean, that's, but I'm not sitting here, worried to death over them or concerned to death over, over or anything. I am a little concerned of how we're being painted as dangerous and crazy and violent and all that stuff, because that's not, that's working against our agenda, if we have one, of just helping people understand the Mandela effect and see, the changes and I think it's important for us to have these discussions. So, because we always talk about, the whole big picture too, of it's not just these logo changes, it's not just movie changes and, and whatnot, television related, the geographical ones are huge. I mean, if
you can't, South America, you can't mistake. I mean,
yeah.
Peru is under New York now. I mean,
now the Sparky says I'm way too stoned to ever get violent. I mean, I certainly, if it hits the fan, I will fight along with everybody that's on the right side, of the matter. I come from a long line of military, people, and I came very close to being, military myself. But
this time it's a war.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, until I have to be a fighter.
Yeah, but this time it's a war for the mind, like it always is.
Yeah, exactly. So we're countering, using our minds and countering their their mind fuckery, if you will. Sorry for the language. And we're trying to show people that that's what they're doing. They're using TV programming. They're using every single weapon they can against us, against our minds, not just our bodies. But yeah, it is definitely to control our minds, our thoughts, and direct them, if nothing else, manipulate them. And, they want us to think a certain way, and vote a certain way and all that crap, They want us to submit.
But people answer to you when you oppose them with what you just said. Yeah, they will answer you. Oh yeah, but why would they lie? And by saying to you or to me, why would they lie? They sort of hang you up on such a big question, on such a big answer. Actually, such an easy question and such a big answer that you cannot fold into one sentence. Yeah, you can say because they listen to the father of lies, but then it doesn't explain it all. And people are just not. It's not a question that they want answered. It's just a question. It's just a question with. They fight with that question. They take you down with that big question, with that tiny question, with the too big an answer to give them. And it's not really a question that's in their mind. It's a weapon. That question is a weapon. That's not really a question.
Right. My best advice for people is to do a little bit of research and use prayer and discernment, on some of these things. It's so much harder to be a researcher now that we're kind of in the apocalypse, which means the revealing, not war necessarily, but it is a war on for the truth.
I've seen Google change. I've seen YouTube change.
Yeah.
It's quite horrible. It's quite horrible.
Yeah. And they think that they're able to predict the future based on everything we've done in the past. That Google has a looking glass program or some crap. That's basically like they think they've created a crystal ball, and especially with AI, but they really have no clue. I don't think of if they're going by that stuff and they they're gonna turn out really wrong. We're gonna react differently, I think, than what they're being told or expect, by their data.
But the situation we're in is a predicament because we have nowhere to go. It's not like we can be refugees to any country because it's everywhere.
Hold up, that's what they want us to think is we have nowhere to go. But
that's
there's
true.
places to go, brother. This is a bigger world we live in than they let us know, isn't it not?
Okay, that might be the truth. Might be the truth.
Just like that one story we saw it twice. The guy that was a German or whatever. Don't forget, he came on a boat and it shipwrecked. So where did they come from? He might have came from another area that we're not allowed to go to or see or know about. See. Or how else do you explain it? Either that or he time traveled, or whatever. If you believe.
Well, it might also be like something that that he's just living here in the same time, but on another frequency. Like on another radio station.
All right. Fair enough. That's good.
Something like that.
Yeah, magnetism, and frequencies, combined, maybe do something. The right frequencies and all that together. See, I'm telling you right now, there are credible scientists, professors at universities that are telling the world that they've got time travel figured out. So what do you think about that? Even if they don't, what do you think about them proclaiming that they've got it basically figured out now?
I think it's a bit of a fantastic claim, I can believe it, but that doesn't. But I'm not willing to research it very much because
Right.
if they would really be able to do it, it would be such big news. It would, right? Why would
Well, I mean, it is been starting. The story is getting around. It is getting around about it that they're, you know, they're. I mean, and then
why are they not changing like recent history? Why are they not, or are they, or is that the Mandela effect?
You know, I mean, if they are manipulating time somehow, then certainly the argument is there that it is ripple effects, you know, or whatever, like Time Cop, like that movie Time Cop, where they, you know, they went back in time, but it made changes to the future, or the butterfly effect, you know, where he, you know, he started thinking and reading about, he read about the past, and then he, you know, went back to it and make changes, and then when he came back, it altered, you know, how the future, you know, how altered reality. See, I mean, I'll never say that there's nothing to there being something to the Mandela effect and the what.
But you know what could also be the truth? Like it could also be like all these inexplicable stories or anecdotes are just thrown in here by Satan himself to make us doubt. You know, just like the Mandela effect, to make us doubt. Just like changing history, to make us detached from our history, to detach us from our roots, to make it more easy to get us astray. I mean, that's also very likely. I mean,
there's a lot of agendas. Whoever's doing it, whatever it's doing it, you know, it is very strange. The when you look at it overall, you know, what gets changed and what doesn't, you know. But I swear there's more changes out there that we just haven't discovered yet, and I mean worldwide too. You know, but we're just going through that site the other day that we went through, you know, the whole site there, alternate realities or whatever it was, memories or something. You know, there was at least probably a dozen that I had never heard of before, and most of those were from Europe and stuff, you know. So I mean, you know, I know that there is enough going on around the world that, you know, enough changes that you know, maybe, you know, I mean, I don't know why it seems like more in the U.S., but I think it's probably even if there's just not people, you know, proclaiming the changes yet or whatever, seeing them.
How about this Zealandia? This one I remember. Remember Zealandia, this 8th continent? Have you heard about it?
No, but I mean, I'm definitely interested. I know that. I mean, what do you think about General Byrd? You know, flying and saying what he saw once he went past Antarctica or whatever.
I think General Byrd is General. What's his name again? Byrd. I think he's Disney. I think he's Disney.
So I mean, yeah. So Mason and Disney and just was making up that stuff or what?
Yeah, and partly true, but mostly Disney. It's just another Disney story. Might be some truth in it,
right?
But mostly Disney. Just like this guy, this Jacques Cousteau, this French documentary maker from Undersea World, also just invented his own animals. You know, just made something out of carrots and rubber. And made it fly through the screen like he discovered something new. Wow. And I mean, it's so easy to do. And I think the same of this.
Charles Lindbergh. What do you think about this theory? What if he was going to expose what he knew about flat Earth and other things, and they took his kid to threaten him, you know, or whatever?
Yeah, could be. Could be. I think these things happen. Yeah.
I've always thought there was some evil agenda. They took his kid to threaten him or whatever.
Well, it's also been said about Stephen Hawking's, that he was also about to expose the flat Earth because he's an intelligent man, so he would have known like way before us,
right?
And that's why they gave him this inability to speak, because he was going to come out.
And so, why do you think they haven't silenced what's his name for telling that little girl we didn't go to the moon? well, which one was that?
That's the slow recovery.
Buzz Armstrong, wasn't it, or whatever?
That's the slow. It fits in the narrative with that there's an atmosphere on the moon. Now that the moon is in our atmosphere, it fits the same narrative breakdown.
Like now we're hearing more about that. Isn't that world-breaking, huge, crazy news? If they're going to admit the moon's in our atmosphere,
it doesn't work like that. It works like a disease. It doesn't work like a revelation. With not according to statistics. Statistics work like diseases. It's like. And it's also, there's many sides to it. It's also poking us, It's also poking the truthers. Like, look, we can even say this. We can even say it on television, and you can even replay it time and time again and ridicule it, and nobody will give a fuck. 0 fucks are given by the rest of the public. So yeah. But now I think by now. It's slowly. I mean, people still believe there's a moon landing. Yeah.
Well, and like I can't.
That's really a belief. You must admit it. They must admit it that it's a belief.
Find me one person though. I haven't found one yet. Find me one person that remembers us going 6 times though. Come on, man. I mean, I don't believe we went once, but I'm saying, this is ridiculous for them to and very bold for them to just say, "Oh yeah, we not only went once, but we went 5 more times." Come on, man! And
then we destroyed the technology.
yeah. But for many years they've said they can't go back because of the Van Allen belts. Well, if you can't go back, you never went because we got better technology now, and if you can't go now because of the Van Allen belts, then you never went, and then you have the astronauts that admit that they didn't go through the Van Allen belts. It's like, oh my goodness, yeah.
How many times do we have to show the people? How many good videos do we have to make?
Yeah,
not we, because it's not me and you making these good videos, but all these guys who went before us.
There are people that worship NASA like a dang god, or like it's a religion. I mean, you can really trigger some people, that want to kick your butt if you tell them that NASA's lies and that we haven't been to the moon, all that stuff.
God, listen, Tommy, I just wrote on the sidewalk like Earth is flat, in Dutch, and I laid the crayon next to it. Well, the next day it was like completely filled out. Like, no, it's not flat. It only looks flat. Like this and that. Like a whole story around it. And I was thinking, like, wow, man, this really triggers people. But I had no idea who it was. And then later on, I saw somebody walking by to see if I might have written something back. And so I know it was her. But the aggression inside of that reaction, so incredible.
Spirit sealed says Einstein was a government puppet. I've heard his wife was smarter than him. But I don't know, but yeah, any of these scientists that they prop up are guaranteed they're just yes men. They've sold out. They're willing to lie about all these.
Can you imagine Don Petit going into history books? I mean, it's that silly. That's Einstein. Look at Don Petit. And imagine yourself, this guy going into history books. That's what Einstein is.
Yeah.
That's really the case. I mean, even in his own time, in his own era, there were so many. I mean, read the papers on 129 scientists against Einstein. I mean, there's lots of papers and news articles about that. Look it up. Look it up. Look how everybody in the scientific community at his age, in his era, was against his theories and proved him wrong time and time again. And the only thing that got Einstein great is the press, is the media. Yeah, that's the only thing. You know how things go down in history. We've seen 9/11. We've seen how it goes down in history. It's not the truth. Not even. It's not even one snippet of truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see it happening right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, exactly, brother. Exactly. So, I have to believe that there is a delusion, whether it's sent by the creator or it's a self-delusion. And it almost seems like it is more of a self-delusion to me.
Oh, yeah.
People make choices about everything, what they're going to believe in, what they're going to worship, what they're going to idolize, what they're going to seek after or spread to others. So, yeah, there is a dang delusion of some kind going on and getting stronger by the day.
That is the reason why I hardly speak to people, and the people that I still speak to, I really how do you say, alter myself, alter my actual being to something so superficial. I might ask them a question like, "Do you remember the Kennedys?" Right? Because they're old people, and they say, "Yeah, how many people in the car?" Well, and then my mother asked. She answered me, "Well, 5 maybe or 6." I said, "Really?" And so I asked her husband, like, "How many?" No, he said 4. I said, "Right, 4, right?" He said, "Yeah, definitely." I said, "Well, no, you're wrong. It's 6 now." And he looked at me like, he looked. He and I don't get along, so he looked at me like, "Of course." So, and I don't even go into that. I'm not trying to make a point there, I just leave it at that. So.
Right. Oh, it still looks like it's blue skies out there. No big chemtrails. That's nice. But I guarantee you by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, when I look that way west, they'll be there. They'll be there for sure, because they won't allow us to see they don't want us to see whatever's going on with the sun,
Yeah.
At sunset, and sunrise too. There's always seems to be clouds too, hiding.
There's
but
always clouds. It's always cloudy. That's the reason for all this moss and all this algae. I see that.
Do you know that NASA has a cloud making machine here, so they can make puffy clouds too? We don't even know what to trust here. Even the puffy clouds, are suspect. The natural looking puffy clouds. Yeah, crazy. Oh boy. Whoa, I went past another 20 after too. That's funny. I haven't been watching. Sparky says clear blue sky is here, so they must be taking the morning and afternoon off so far from their regular spraying deal agenda. Poor little kitty, man. She scratches herself so hard she's got sores on herself. I don't want to take her nails out, but man, she's like she damages herself. Scratching so hard. Poor little thing. Anyway, hi, Healthy Living and other things. Good to see you.
Hi, Healthy Living and other things. Hello.
So You can't get kratom there, or can you get kratom? You ever seen it in the stores?
Possibly, yeah, of course, in some smart shops, you know.
Yeah.
You can get anything here.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
But I haven't tried it, and I'm not into drugs anymore. I smoke my weed.
It's a plant, though. I mean, you know, yeah.
It's pain relief.
Yeah. But it has a little bit of mood altering to it too. I don't know. Yeah. So coming up on 3 hours, brother man. What time is it there?
We're not gonna do another 6-hour stream, are we?
And is it it's evening there? We're getting there.
Yeah. It's dark.
Michael Healy says, what's the best kratom to buy, guys? I have tried some, but it didn't seem that effective. Yeah, I mean, you want to get the best quality, you know. Don't just buy. I've never bought it in a gas station because I'm just weary of it. But I bought it online. I don't have, but yeah, there's some good companies that sell it still. And the red vein is stronger than the green vein. They have red vein and maybe white vein too. There's different, you know, the green, white, red. I think, you know, you can't just try it one time. You gotta give it a week or two. You know, like even new medicines they put you on, they'll tell you got to give it time to, you know.
Well, that I've tried once.
Mm-hmm.
I was like near psychotic. I wasn't psychotic, but I felt it coming, you know. And so I reached out for some help, and they gave me some pills. And I woke up. I took these pills, and I woke up with like a dick like this, you know, tiny. That's not how you ought to wake up, you know. And I felt like I had this blockage around my head, like I was wearing a cap this thick. I couldn't feel or hear. I could hear and I could feel, but it was blocked in a way, you know.
Wow.
Very weird. So I thought, wow. So I called up this psychiatrist or this therapist. I said, well, this is what I feel. She said, well, no, you just have to get used to it. You can only know after 6 weeks. I said, 6 weeks? I said, I'm not going through this. Fuck you. I'm not going to take any more of these pills. No, fuck that. Because then you need 6 weeks and then you're hooked. And then you need 6 weeks to downgrade it again. To get off the addiction. No.
Somebody wants to know about kratom, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show I'm gonna show the trailer to the documentary film that I was recommending, which is Leaf of Faith. Leaf of Faith, not Leap, but Leaf of Faith. So let's check that out real quick. Are we sharing? Let me know if we are.
Yeah, you're sharing.
Okay, awesome. Here we go with that then. This is Leaf of Faith.
The United States is a world leader in prescription opioid abuse by far. How far? 90% of the world's opiates are taken here.
You know, before I had the stroke, I was doing about 90 pain pills a day for 7 years.
Me too.
About 15 years of my life go by in a blur of opiates.
You could roll me up, stick me in a garbage bag, and put me out at the curb, and that was about all I was good for.
Do I think pharma made mistakes? Oh, yes, I do. But we also know there's more heroin on the streets than ever before. Afghanistan and the opium runs poison Americans.
What if I told you I had the cure for the opioid crisis in my hand?
It's not new. It's not synthetic.
Kratom represents a great starting point for developing new, safer pain relievers.
It's a plant that helps people overcome opiate addiction.
What do you guys hope comes out of this?
That I get to keep freedom in my life because it saved my life. I'm just tired of pain.
This industry operates like a bunch of head shop little drug dealers. They're packing capsules in their living room. They put it in a jar. They take the smoke shops and sell them.
Do we want another addicting opiate on the planet?
People think slavery ended in 1865. It didn't. It's going on right now in 2017. If you're on opiates, you are a slave.
Yep. What do you think about that? Did you get away from the computer? That's all good. So yes, kratom can be addictive also, but I had no problem, using it here and there. Spirit sealed. I mean, it's not going to be as hard to get off of as the stuff it replaces. I found that I could definitely use it for a week at a time here and there or whatever, and not others. So. Yes, you can order it off the net. Yes, you can definitely can. Let's see. I don't know if Healthy knows of some good places to buy it from, or if she, I don't know if she's still in here, but.
She probably knows. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how she feels about it, but if you're in a legal state, why has it been? I don't know that it's been outlawed anywhere. But I guess maybe some states or cities might have outlawed the kratom. They've tried to, but just pharmaceutical lobbyists, pushing for it to be, put down. Just like with the vape situation, that was mainly cigarette lobbyists, cigarette companies, corporations putting a lot of money into that vaping is so deadly and all that crap, because they want people smoking cigarettes. Just like the pharmaceutical companies want people on pills, not on kratom,
Yeah, simple.
or marijuana. But see, Bayer and Monsanto, well, it's all Bayer now, but they think they're smart, and maybe they are, but they're still evil by jumping ahead. They started 5 years ago or 10 years, whatever. That's what
I mean with the predicament. We're cornered from more than 5 dimensions. I mean, we need divine intervention, otherwise we don't get out. So it's empirical that we're going to get that it's necessary. Otherwise, we are wrong, and we know we are not wrong. But we are the only ones considered wrong in the public opinion. Yeah. And public opinion is lying. So we need divine intervention. There's no other way out.
Mm-hmm.
There's
right.
no other way out.
Yeah, but it's so hard for people to believe that's possible or that's coming. Either
it's not possible, but it's the only thing. It's like the improbability, hitting the improbability button in. Do you know Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that book or the movie? You got to hit the improbability button, and that must happen, and then it will happen because it's so impossible that it's probably the only thing that's possible. It's like the Mandela effect is also impossible. So,
look at this madness that's going on with this China with the coronavirus. Look at some of the headlines on these, and I'm not saying that any of these are real or whatever, but some people in China throwing pets off top of buildings because of coronavirus. People getting arrested for talking against the coronavirus too. Conspiracy theorists claim 5G is to blame for coronavirus. What about that?
It's such a fucking theater.
Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's so hard to be a researcher now because there is so many more theories out there on things now, and so much propaganda and crap, But yeah, school district warns against fake coronavirus claims. There's people being arrested left and right in some countries for trying to say that it's hype or this and that. Look at this guy. Coronavirus is it God's judgment? Question mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like.
But there's so many people hooking onto it. I also hooked onto it. But I just want to tell people, listen, there's a connection between 5G and coronavirus. Just watch Glasgow. That's the next object.
So you do think that which one was that I saw? So you do think there's something to the 5G and Corona, huh?
Oh, for sure,
Really?
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Where did we see that one at? Now they're saying coronavirus overtakes the SARS death toll. You know, it's just more and more scary headlines to try and scare people into vaccines last week. You know, apparently Israel has some vaccines coming out soon for it, you know. But yeah, it's a rush to get them out. It's all about money, though. You know, they don't. It's and poisoning people too. But I mean, you know, they in control. So every country wants to come out with the vaccine to save the world. With, you know,
Spirit Shield says that it's not related to 5G or to 5G in her opinion. She doesn't see it. Well, look at Wuhan and look at how much 5G is rolled out there. And there's also a virus factory there, you know, a virus lab. But I think that's just a distraction. I think
coronavirus in Bible. See this one?
No, fuck that. Yeah, I mean, you can go any way you want with it.
I'll just say it's funny, you know, what they're saying, man. There's so many different headlines.
Connection between Corona and 5G. Oh shit, yes. Oh,
Josh's video may prove coronavirus was predicted 10 years ago. You know, people are looking at the back of the Lysol thing, freaking out that it says it on there, you know. And of course they say, well, this is a different strain of coronavirus than what it says on the Lysol, so you can't kill it with it or whatever, you know.
Yeah, of course they're going to say
more propaganda, of course, you know.
Can I see the proof of that? Can I see what that's based on?
Yeah.
What, you know?
Exactly.
People say, yeah, it's a more aggressive variety of the former one. Yeah, well, that still doesn't. Why is it more aggressive? What does it do now that it didn't do before? You know, they're not telling you.
All right, let's listen to this. Let's check out this video by the National Science Foundation. Sorry to cut you off there, but why bat viruses are so deadly?
The original source of the virus causing coronavirus disease 2019 is believed to be bats, as in other coronavirus pandemics. Now, a new study finds that the fierce immune responses that allow bats to host viruses without getting sick may in turn drive those viruses to spread more quickly inside them. So when the viruses jump to other mammals with average immune systems, including humans, they wreak deadly havoc. The researchers infected bat cells with virus and matched their experiments with mathematical models. The models show this faster spread rate countered by the bat immune response. Next step, a more formal model of virus evolution in bat immune systems to better understand the pathology upon spillover to other animal and human hosts.
So they just want more money, you know, to do their fake crap and make more crap in their lab. And, you know, I mean, it's ridiculous, dude. You there? Are you muted or are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mute?
I don't know, but I hear you now. I hear you. Okay. So what's the chat saying?
Well, they're talking about the number 72, that it's a special number.
Well, 72 is also 9.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Are you, Tobin Schwing? You're kind of late to the party. Only my 333rd subscriber.
Oh, I thought you were past that already, but okay.
I am. I'm 350 now. I'm real famous on YouTube, man.
I'm at 380 or something like that. 381.
Let me see.
I was at 382 yesterday, but I lost one, so you know it goes up and down.
Yeah.
You know that when you get to 1,000, you also that doesn't mean you can monetize automatically. You have to have 4,000 watch hours in a year's time to also. That's a lot. Now you can get there doing these kind of streams right here, but I mean, you know, that is a lot.
Percentages go up like 1,000, more than 1,000% in the last month. So I will manage.
I've got 600 watch hours in the last month. So that'll, you know, if I keep that rate up, then I'll get to the 4,000 mark. But you know, I'm just saying it's not just getting to 1,000 and then you can monetize. No, you got to have some watch. You got to have your video.
Yeah, I'm not looking out to monetize, especially.
Me neither. I'm just saying. I'm just saying for those who think that they will be able to monetize when they get to 1,000, you have to get that watch time up to get there. So yeah. Oh man, but no, I want to be able to stream live though for my phone. That'd be cool, you know.
Yeah, that would be cool, right? Yeah. Yeah, but I'm quite happy doing this too. You know, that's okay.
On a low, yeah, I don't care if it takes me. It took me 11 years to get this far. I don't care if it takes another 11 years if we even have that much time. You know, whatever. I mean, to get to 1,000 or whatever. I don't. You know. I enjoy talking and you know, spending time with the people in our community and then anybody new that's cool, you know, that's not here to troll, you know, whatever. I mean, but yeah, I'm not in it for the likes and popularity and money and all that kind of crap. My channel says activism, you know, nonprofit activism. I think yours says entertainment, but you know, there's a bunch of different categories. So
yeah, I'm just making weird moves. Stretching my back.
Yeah, 381. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Hey, but Tommy, how about the show from Stavely? Did you see it?
The last one I have not seen. Overnight, the one he did overnight.
Yeah.
And thank you. Sorry, I'm late. New subscriber. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I must have lost one, and I figure I might know who that is. But anyway, and that's a new one. So you lose one, it gets replaced. You know, that's how it is. So anyway, yeah. This is crazy, man. Sally Field, my Sally Field video up to 377 views. My one about her talking about her last name. I'm so glad I found that. That was a good find. Let's check this one out.
This one here,
Christopher Reeves.
Okay, so I found out about this Zealandia. It's just Zealand. It's just the plate that Zealand. It's just the name of the Earth plate that Zealand is the island on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess Tobin wanted me to show the Sally Field one. I can show it. Well, we weren't screen sharing, were we? Again,
I wasn't looking. I was.
I wasn't. But you could hear that one anyway. That one spoke for itself. The Christopher Reeves one. But yeah, we're not screen sharing. But all right, I'll go ahead and show the Sally Field ones just to have it in this stream here. This is the one I found a month or two ago or whatever of Sally Field's.
What happened?
Four-wheelers.
Sorry?
Oh no, that's somebody on a motorcycle or something. Let me just see who that is real quick. No, I thought it was going to be my neighbors riding their four-wheelers, and they usually like me to get out there and ride my dirt bike. But hang on one second, I just want to see who's creeping. Yeah, somebody just riding through the neighborhood, I guess, or whatever. But all right.
We just got a nice compliment from Tell Me Truth that you and I make a great host pair.
All right, appreciate that. Yeah, and me and you and Mad Pieman don't do too bad together. Also, until he falls asleep. No, just kidding.
Right.
All right, so we are screen sharing then, right? Correct. We screen share. Okay, here comes Sally Fields. Sally Fields on Jimmy Kimmel.
These are kind of like the bigger people, I think. Kevin Love.
Well, we set it up for the Timberwolves, and we do it to humiliate our smaller guests. Yes. I'm sorry about that. Guillermo, would you come lay at Miss Fields' feet?
Does it annoy you, and I'm asking you this because it drives me crazy when people refer to you as Sally Fields?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
think so. You don't care.
Well,
Why do I care and you don't?
I don't know, Jimmy. I don't know. But they always have. It's always. I guess it's easier to say Fields and not go Fields.
I wonder if it's the cookies.
Isn't that insane, man?
Yeah, it is easier to say Fields than Fields.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have wrote it like that in all the credits and all the things, the residue that, is out there,
Is that the Mrs. Fields and her cookies that did this?
No, I'm not really
Fields
sure.
and Strawberry Fields.
And do we care, really?
I think I do, yeah. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I grew up in
Oh, yeah.
Do we care? Like she's been asked 1,000,000 times or something, Right?
Spirit Shield is a man. Okay, I'm sorry, Spirit Shield. 72 years old. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now I know.
All right, let's look at this Lord's Prayer residue, man, because I think this is worth seeing. It's got 142 views, so obviously some people like it. Let's check it out real quick.
Folks, with some more residue, and this is more the Lord's Prayer residue here, and video clips of them saying the Lord's Prayer. And as always, I'm going to show you, here's the transcripts of what they're going to say, the Lord's Prayer itself. Father, hallowed be thy name, so on and so on, the Lord's Prayer. Okay, I was pretty sure this one said with trespasses, and now it says, forgive us our sins as we forgive those, as we ourselves forgive everyone who is indebted to us. What in the world?
Indebted to us.
I forgot that one flip-flop on me or something, man, because I only save them when they're, good residue, and I swear this one changed on me right after I saved it. Well, I don't know, but check it out. It's CNN too. Look at that.
To say trespassing, but here we go.
The Lord's Prayer itself. Hallowed be your name. The words spoken by Jesus were directly inspired by John.
Give us each day our daily bread,
Forgive us our sins, for we ourselves forgive everyone who's indebted to us.
That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't sound correct. You know, I mean, come on, folks. Nobody's ever said it that way. And here they are reenacting a scene with Jesus and he, no, I'm sorry. I don't even want to play that again.
Is this Jesus with dreads?
I've had these saved for like a week, so my memory's a little faulty on what exactly they did say. But I was meaning to just show you residue of them saying trespasses instead of debts and debtors. You know. All right, let's check this one out if it'll play. The transcripts say, "Thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth," which it should say on earth, not in earth. See, that's another change in the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. See,
Yeah.
It's supposed to be on and in, not in and in. No.
Right. In earth is like burying it, right?
All right. So I don't even know if this one's going to play. Yeah, over here, I guess it is. All right.
Trespass.
And then here's your trespass. See, forgive us our trespass as we forgive those who trespass against us.
But watch this.
All right.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts.
What?
As we forgive our debtors.
Are you reading what I'm reading? This is a transcript. It's supposed to be exactly what they're saying, word for word. That's what it's all about. And this is changed, like in the video. This is crazy. You heard them say debts and debtors. The exact opposite. Here it is in wording.
Not even translated. It is from English to English.
I thought I was in the Twilight Zone, man. This shit's crazy.
Trespasses as we forgive those trespass against us, you know. Oh my goodness. Let me back that up. This is ridiculous. It's getting weirder and weirder, folks.
Give us our debts, as we forgive our debtors.
Hell no.
Sure doesn't say that down here. Wow. This is just getting creepier. And the Mandela effect will expand and get creepier as time goes on. All right, let's see what the next one's got for us. I'm pretty sure that this one's going to say trespasses.
We'll see, huh?
Oh, dear, please. Sorry, folks.
Now it's time next. Let us all pray the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Thank you, Lord.
Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Earth as it is in heaven. Forgive us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
All right, so at least we had one that was right in the video and in the transcripts. And here we have, it's supposed to say trespass. Give us our trespass as we preserve the bitter rest. What? What? No. I'm about to lose my
This is
mind.
ridiculous, man. How many versions are there?
When we got to the Lord's Prayer, saying the Lord's Prayer out loud was a real confrontation for me. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those.
Thank goodness.
I had to abandon something I'd been saying. When we got to the Lord's Prayer, saying the Lord's Prayer out loud was a real confrontation for me. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. I had to
Nothing about debts, folks.
abandon something I'd been saying.
And it's not a reissue issue. It's not an issue of reissuing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to tell you what he's saying over here, what he was going to continue to say often, probably thoughtlessly, thousands of times over whatever. So the guy has said the Lord's Prayer like me many times, and it doesn't have debts or debtors in it. So other than these other wackadoo ones that flip-flopped on me or whatever the heck they were doing, there's your residue. Yeah, I'm just going to have to call this a mixed up one and not just for trespass and trespasses.
Crazy Hama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people say that there's a Catholic version that's different or something, but that guy was Catholic, and so if it, but I don't know. I just don't understand. I'm not Catholic, but I grew up saying trespasses, but it's weird. And then I have this one right here on this shell that I found that says, forgive us our sin as we forgive those who sin against us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a whole nother version right there. Everything's on there is correct. It says on earth as it is in heaven. But then, down there, instead of saying trespasses and, it says,
in Dutch, it is like sins. Vergeef onze zonden zoals wij ook degene vergeven die zondigen tegen ons. That's always been the way you read it now. It's always been like that in Dutch. So it's with sin and not with trespassers or with. So.
Yeah, it shouldn't say. You're right. Tell me the truth. It shouldn't say in earth like in in earth is like in hell or whatever. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's on earth. So if it's still like that. I don't know right now if it's still saying on in earth or not, but it might have flip-flopped back. But yeah, it's weird stuff to me, man.
Yeah, man.
Very, very, very weird. Let's see if there's any other ones I want to show. All right. Well, anyway, let's see. What are we at right now with time? 3 hours and 26 minutes. Any topics you want to talk about? Anything you got on your mind other than what we said so far? Anything you want to discuss, debate, or anything? Hard to put you on the spot. You can think about it for a few minutes or whatever. But I'd like to show my "Don't Believe the Hype" video that I made because that got taken down or banned, so you can't see this unless I show it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that, and it's on my YouTube, but it's marked as unlisted. Let's see. So I don't know. I'll probably have to go into YouTube Studio here and let me see if we're okay. Let me get back to screen share. Nope, not there. And I'm back to 382, I guess. All right, so let's see. I'm not seeing my video now. Huh, that's weird. Why can't I see that video? Missy, why don't you go finish eating your food, girl? So silly. Huh. Won't show me the video I wanted. I've got it though. I got it elsewhere, but it won't. It's not showing my unlisted video that said "Don't believe the hype." Maybe they took that off of there. Crazy. Let's see. It's right here.
People Tommy here, and this is live right here. This is the World Health Organization, or AKA WHO, and I like to say, who the hell do they think they are? Trying to keep everyone sick and enslave the world and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, this is live right now. This is February 21st. 2020, 9:44 a.m. Central Standard Time. And they've been going on for 46 minutes now. 48 minutes, my bad. And it's all these doctors and scientists, of course, virus and disease specialists, just going on and on and on, hyping up the stupid virus and telling you how serious it is and can be and whatnot, and the usual garbage. And it never changes. Every single one of these viruses and diseases they hype up are usually man-made or man-manipulated, and most definitely usually put out there on purpose. And they love it. They love the chaos it causes, because they're always trying to make control out of chaos. They always have the vaccine for these things, or they're making it, and they'll have it out soon. And as long as you take it, you're going to be safe. But please do not ever take any kind of vaccine, if you can help it, because I'm telling you right now, it is full of garbage. And not only is it full of garbage, but these people, because they are Satanists and they are loyal to the beast system, they do rituals. They pray over these vaccines that they're making, and like voodoo magic, they want it to harm you. Okay, so and look, if you get sick during these times where they're hyping this crap up, do everything you can to resist going to the hospital, because they are tricky. They will tell you you've got this crap when you don't. They've been doing that for years and years and years. They go to Africa, South Africa, everywhere. It don't matter where. Everywhere these people right here go, they test people for all kinds of diseases and viruses and crap, and they love to test for tuberculosis. And they have told people by the thousands, 100,000s, maybe millions by now, that only tested positive for tuberculosis, that they had AIDS. And then, of course, they got people on the toxic AIDS drugs, the ATZ drugs and others, that is what killed people that had that man-made disease, virus AIDS. So, this is, it's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the fake sun, if you believe that too, whatever. But this
this is all a part of their agenda to control and enslave us, to keep us sick or kill us. I mean, you know, you've got to understand, folks, that since we are getting closer to the end times, they are going to pull out every single card they can out of their weapons, depot, because they want to get ready for the beast system and the mark of the beast, and to weed out us good people. They do not want us around much longer. So I'm not trying to be doom and gloom or scare anyone. They're trying to scare you into taking vaccines that will end your life. I'm saying, do not fall for this crap. Do not take the vaccines. Do not be concerned that you're going to get this stuff. If you get sick, use home remedies and see a holistic doctor, not this mainstream crap. Western medicine is just almost a joke. Yes, they're good at fixing cuts and breaking.
Be your own doctor, right? Learn for yourself. You know, you can go to the doctor, but still you cannot trust just on the doctor. You have to learn what your disease is about and how you can usually just fix it by changing your diet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Very right.
Yeah.
Because most diseases start in the gut.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was poisoned, and all that poison messed me up and permanently damaged, me where I have MS and still dealing with it. But, because I'm not taking all the crap medicine that they have, I'm doing better than probably those that are on all that garbage,
Yeah. Bless you for that, brother. Yeah.
Oh, me. So, are you rolling something up or something?
Jacking potatoes.
I got 8 more minutes, so I'm about to break some up for the next one, and then I'll probably go ahead and call this quits. But if you get on later, I'll join you or whatever, or I'll at least join your show. Watch your show after this. If you get back on. Didn't you do one this morning or something? Maybe a quick one or something, or was that last night? Maybe, I don't know. I think. I went to bed early and slept in today.
Yeah, me too. I missed Stavely's show, and
I missed
a premiere now, but maybe it's finished. So I think I'm not watching that, but
I'll have to check it out some too. Definitely. But I'm gonna get outside a little bit too and enjoy some of this sun. See, I only have a few more weeks left before I'll have to hide from the sun, unless I'm just gonna be blessed this year all of a sudden.
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably be, broken. I'll have dots all over me if I get out in it here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be painful and all that good stuff. It's weird, but I'm not going to put toxic sunscreen on me, that's for sure.
Of course not, no.
I'm not going that way. Are you going on your, Tobin wants to know, are you going on your show, Voynich? I want to be in chat. I'm sure you'll get a notification if you're subbed belled to him, Tobin, but I'm not pushing him to do a show. I'm just saying, when this ends, if you do one at some point, we look forward to it. We always do.
I'm checking out potatoes at the moment, so I'm busy cooking for an hour.
But your show is getting popular too, dude. It is.
Yeah, I see, and people ask for me, and I like it too. But I'm still not happy with the results, or I get good reactions, and I like that, but I must grow. I must make better, must make more preparations. So I probably will. But it's very nice to get all these kind of reactions. Yes, awesome, really.
Tobin says he never gets notified. He never gets notified.
Well, you should click on push messages, so that when it starts, you immediately get notified, and it's only with push messages. It's not with, and that's sorry.
It's separate notification.
No, it's in notifications, but you have to change it in settings. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I put my arm in on the grinder, forgot it was sitting there, so I got green all over the place now.
Oh shit!
Oh man, it's all good.
Because if you click on notification, it will send you an email, but it will not give you a push message, and that you have to rectify in settings on YouTube. So there's how that works.
Aha. You say. Good.
Do you cook for yourself, Tommy, or do you always take?
I do. I do definitely cook meals. I used to a lot more when I lived in Tennessee. I used to do a lot of crock pot meals and yeah. I don't eat. I eat as minimal as I can now, though. So it's like I eat one meal a day, and then I might snack here and there. But I'd really, it's almost like for me, it's prepping my body for any possible, it hitting the fan. I'm afraid that all these people that are used to eating, really good are going to be in trouble once they can't,
Yeah, that's true.
Get the food they're so used to eating.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Spirit Field. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and all of you guys. We appreciate it definitely, and I appreciate it for your wisdom and your like-mindedness. Also, your ideas, your theories. So I eventually want to have a call-in show where me and whoever is co-hosting me in Voynich and whatever, can talk to some of you more. Some of y'all might be scared to call in on Stavely's or other channels, but certainly you wouldn't, you should feel at home if you call.
Oh, you shouldn't be
online.
You shouldn't be
I
scared.
need to remind myself to look into that later and go ahead and get the Skype set up. I haven't used Skype in years, but I know that's what Stavely uses. I'm pretty sure for his setup for calling in, and you get a Skype number and it's just like a regular phone number, and people can just call it, and boom, boom. You just got to get the audio right where there's all that echo stuff, So crap feedback and all that. But yeah. Did you see that stream on Moneybags the other day? I know you don't necessarily care for them, but they had like 9 or 10 people in one stream, man. It was
I saw that one. Yeah, I saw a bit of that one. Yeah,
right.
with
that was pretty neat. But it's so hard to, unless you're going to be respectful and give everybody time to talk. It can be a shit show real quick with everybody talking over each other. Or trying.
But that didn't happen, did it?
I mean, it might have.
I didn't see all,
might have had a little bit, but they caught themselves. But yeah, I mean, but it still has the potential of, being a mess. But no, I guess that it worked as good as it could for, I guess, for that many people.
That's good.
Yep. Do. So.
Okay, so I'm about to cook now.
Oh, it's 1:19. Yeah, let me do this, and then we're gonna probably I'll play a song and we'll be done. So. I do appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy your meal. I'm probably going to cook a grilled cheese here in a little while, a grilled cheese sandwich.
And it's 1:20 here, so it's 4:20 somewhere. Here we go. All right, Kitty, you're going to have to get out of my lap so I can hit the bone. Sorry. Better jump, jump, jump. She did not want to get out of my lap. Never does. Oh, yeah. Woo! Nice hit. Nice clean water and new bottle. Somebody said earlier they're going to make a gravity bong. I think it was Queen. I meant to comment on that. That'd be cool, Queen. Make you one and do a little video of you hitting it to share with us. Let me mute for yeah. Woo, that's coming on quick, man. Very, very quick. Oh dear. All right, bear with me real quick, folks. Just gonna see what I got going on here. Do-do-do-do.
What's the time? Oh, okay. That's cool.
What do you say? You cooking? What were you cooking? Some soup or something?
No, I'm cooking. How you call it in English? Chicory oven. How do you say it? Casserole?
Okay, gotcha.
In the oven, you know.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna make some mashed potato, and then some chicory rolled in ham, and then some mashed potato, and then cheese.
Gotcha.
And then into the oven.
I used to work at a 5-star restaurant, and it was a steak and seafood restaurant. And I started out as a dishwasher and busboy, but I learned everything up to line cook and other things. But
cool.
I've cooked prime rib and lobster and everything in between. Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to do that, you know. And I started that job at 13 years old. I had to get permission from the state.
Wow.
I was still in school and everything, and my mom worked at the same restaurant, so she was a manager / bar manager, and you know, I would mainly work when she worked, you know, and so that. But yeah, I love food, but I just learned. I learned you know, to put it down. You know, I've never been really overweight. I was 215 pounds when I moved down here 7 years ago this spring, and that's the biggest I've ever been in my life. But I'm 6 foot, you know, with a ½ inch or so. And so that, you know, 215 is not, you know, overweight for somebody that tall. It could be in the wrong places, but I was just thick, you know, kind of thick everywhere. Not, you know, no big beer belly or anything like that. But you know, I'd love to be around 200 plus again, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, but you just got to eat so much to get there and keep that.
You eat so much, and you got to train so much, and you got to stay training, and you got to stay eating. And why? Just to stay eating and to stay training, it's useless.
And you're putting more GMOs and toxins in your body, you know.
It's completely useless. It's just to look good, just to look healthy. Right. That's nonsense.
Yeah. That's what I think too. Do. Hey, Mr. LA. Good to see you. yeah, we're just kind of winding down this show. We're coming up on 4 hours, and I definitely think that's going to be the max. So sorry, guys, but I want to enjoy this nice day. I still do not see any chemtrails out there, so I like to get out there when there's not a sky full of chemtrails, mess around in the yard, ride the dirt bike, or mow the grass, whatever. Yep. So I definitely look forward to getting out there. It's gonna be like 68 degrees today here, so that's really, really pleasant. And I want to get in it.
Yeah, you get out there because I'm gonna cook, and you're keeping me from cooking, Tommy. And I'm keeping you from going outside. So get some sun.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a video to take us out on that note or something.
I'm gonna do a final shout out. Wait a minute to everybody in chat who's still there.
Yeah.
And those are, of course, our dear Ann Gaynor, Frandella Zafle, Michael Healy, the one and only, Mr. La, Susan Quo, Tell Me Truth, Tobin Swing, Tom Zilren Rocha. And I'm out. Ciao.
All right, brother. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I'm gonna just play a song and then we'll be done here. So, take care, brother. And then until next time, everybody. Too. I'm just gonna play a song and we'll be done. Thank you for being here. God bless you all. Have a great rest of your weekend. I might go live again tomorrow, tonight, overnight. You never know when I'm going to pop on, but I do have to rest, in between shows quite a bit sometimes because, I do have a disease that's trying to slow me down all the time. But I'm hard to slow down too. So anyway, let's see. How about something to take us out? Some song here. That record on.
I'm a southern boy, grew up on Pac and Biggie, Leonard Skinner, Hank Williams, and some old Willie. Blues came from Clapton, the experience from Jimmy. I rode to the Outcasts and hustled on the block to 50 with bricks in the wall on the dark side of the moon. Had posters on my wall, the Beastie Boys in my room. And Garth Brooks playing on my radio. I got friends in low places everywhere I go. And when I'm feeling all alone, it's me and these country songs. Music is alive, but hip hop's gone. Or is it? It's when I speak, I know my people feel it. We all got a story, I just wanted them to listen. So tune in, turn it up in your headphones. Whatever it is, just listen and sing along.
What are you listening to?
Couple legs, some kind of sample, it's not a guitar.
Something that gets you through.
Just a sad song playing on the radio station. Tears still fall and hearts still break. Cause you're hanging on. This is a love song about someone new. Trying to shake the drugs and see the rose-colored lenses. I try to rise above, but they've left me defenseless. For everything senseless, the Beamers and the Benzes. Those in this business wind up dead or behind 50-foot fences. For lifelong sentence, they got it with my first business. Searching for the Lord, the streets did more than the church did. And raising up the worst kids, believe me, I was one of them. The music told the story of everything that would come of them.
That record on.
Full of lies. Damn if I stand by and let them destroy music, exploit music, and corrupt minds promote useless creations. I guess that you can say I'm hating, but you control the dial, don't like it, then change the station.
I'm wondering what you're listening to. 'cause you're hanging on. Is it a love song?
About someone new. What are you listening to?
Are you really listening? Do you sing along? Is it the beat that drives you? Or the whole song? Does it represent your views and the things that you're going through? Relate to 808s or lyrics that are spoken true? And what do you let your child listen to? Is it something rhythm or walk a block of flame? Disgusted by the ignorance and looking for a change? Or do you like a repeat of more of the same?
I wish I knew, what are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Man, some college town ball is not an air guitar. Something that gets you through.
Just a sad song playing on the radio station. Tears still fall and hearts still break because you're hanging on. This is a love song about someone new.
What are you listening to? Record on. And let it play again and again. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Always good to see all of you. Let's keep it real talk. Don't believe the hype, and just don't fall for their trickery. Don't fall for their solution to every problem they create. Control out of chaos. Please resist the vaccines and the flu shots, guys. They are not going to help you. They will only accumulate in your body and in your brain and do long-term damage. Please don't take any vaccines or or flu shots. I'm not a doctor, but I know that they are using that as another weapon, and they do not want to help people. They want to hurt people. So, all right, awesome to see you guys. The Allman Brothers, yes. I've got a friend that used to work for the Allman Brothers. He was as a, what do you call it? Their promoter, publisher, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, but I enjoy all kinds of genres. I know y'all hear me playing these rap kind of songs and stuff a lot, but I like all kinds of music, different music. Music is in my blood. I have a lot of musicians and singers, songwriters, and that in my family. And even though I'm not the greatest singer, I love to sing too. So I do sing along a lot of times. Sorry if it isn't good, but it is what it is. All right. Once again, I appreciate you all, and we'll do this again soon, I'm sure. And thank you. God bless you. Goodbye.